Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games, episode 236. That's right. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, a very tired Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. Everyone is homeless. Half the podcast is homeless.
Yes.
It feels like.
Yes.
I know it's not that. Everybody's okay. But,
yes.
Man, it's a different day than it was last week.
It is.
Hey, man, can I borrow $1? Can I just borrow $1, please?
Right. You got to at least play me a tune first.
You got a coffee? Can I get some coffee?
Can you sing me some Ricky Martin first, at least?
Ricky Martin.
I don't know.
Jeez.
Shoot. Okay, so me and Chris
Yes.
are where you usually see me and Chris.
Or hear from us.
Tim and Ed are in different places than they were last week.
That's
and
right.
It is, and only because I saw Tim last night for a brief second, got lucky enough to catch him at dinner and talk to him for a second. But Ed, can you go first, buddy? Do you think you could scrounge up the energy to go first?
Seriously.
Yeah, it's been a week. I've picked up the you know how the flu goes around and what have you. This week, no. It's even worse. This week, Router's adulting went around.
Yeah.
No.
That is worse.
Yes, it did.
Peter Pan's got kids.
That's right. That is right.
So yeah, it's been a heck of a week. Sarah and I moved this week, but to kick it, I guess I caught a little bit of something from everyone because to kick it all off, I caught Chris's car troubles.
Oh
no!
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
So yeah,
Ed, oh man,
what going on with the car?
Just a little bit of everything. So it was all right.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I'd call that all right.
Just enough to make it extra expensive. So it was amazing.
Oh no, Ed.
No, Ed.
And we and then of course we had the big move, and when they
from where to where? You went from Pennsylvania to Indiana?
From Pennsylvania to Indiana, yes.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
So
wow, man.
They had us estimated. They said, usually for a one bedroom place, we average about 50 boxes plus like furniture and what have you.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Great. And they said, and that's kind of overestimating, but we like to overestimate just in case we get there and
Yeah.
it's we'll have our bases covered. So at the worst, it'll be less than you expected.
You're right.
It was not.
Oh,
Jeez.
oh man.
We estimated wrong.
They when they move you, they have like a roll of tape that starts at number 1, and they stick it on everything you have and go up to however, so they keep track that they have everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
179 items.
What?
Wow.
Does that mean 179 boxes?
Not boxes,
No, just items.
Things they had to move. Yeah, and still they go by cubic feet. And not by number of items, but still, we went way over what we
shoot
the estimate.
Oh, doggone.
Oh, jeez.
So does that mean that they have a bad estimator, or you guys have a lot of stuff?
They have a lot of stuff.
I think we have a lot of stuff. I thought I did a pretty good job of like telling them, hey, we've got this, and we could update the list up until. I mean, of course, the price would still go up, but we could, we've got this and this and this and this, but it was.
Oh.
In the car out here, Sarah said, "You know what? I think I'm going from 6 bins of clothes to 2."
I know that's right. And 6 bins of clothes is not that many.
No.
Well, they're pretty big bins.
Oh, maybe it isn't.
Yeah, you haven't seen the Sarah bins.
She's a small girl too. That's a lot of clothes.
Yeah, I have a bin and a suitcase, and that's my clothes.
That's awesome.
So. Yeah, it was a pretty stressful week. I'll be honest with you, and
it is not easy.
I appreciate people. I kind of ghosted for the week just because I wasn't near anything. But I appreciate everyone's messages and what have you. That definitely means a lot. And we'll have so we're here now. We got in late last night. The house is great. We're renting from Sarah's sister and their family who have been trying to sell the house and couldn't. And so we got an amazing place for a lot less than what we were paying in Pennsylvania, which is nice.
That's
So
good.
that'll help out. And, it's just good it's good to we saw Sarah's family who comes out every Christmas and picked up the key from them last night. And it was just good to stop in, say hey, pick up the key, and then leave and know that, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow or the day after.
What? Did you start crying just to see a friendly face?
Yeah.
Not someone with their hand out like, pay me.
Exactly.
You need a hug and a smile, man. A hug and a smile.
I don't think 6 bins of clothes is that much. I don't think it's that much. They tap you on the back as they're hugging you.
You're going to be just fine.
I'd have had 7.
Exactly. So yeah, the movers are. They had asked us for the first available date because they were like, we won't arrive, of course, before that date, and so we gave them today, which is the 22nd when we're recording this, and they said, okay, now they could be there anywhere from 4 to 9 days.
What?
So just to cover their bases of if anything happens and they get delayed, because
Like a snowstorm.
all of our
Right.
like a snowstorm, exactly, and all of our stuff got transferred into an 18-wheeler because they also deliver other people's stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Yeah, they consolidate everything.
Exactly. So I was glad yesterday to get the call from them saying, hey, they'll be there tomorrow, probably around noon, and we were super stoked. So
Wow, man.
yeah, that was
So there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, how many guys helped you?
Yeah, exactly.
Were there just 2, 3?
There were 3 guys
Three?
that moved
Nice.
us. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great, man.
Is the movers
So, yeah.
the way to go? I've never done that. I've never been able to afford that before.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
if you
It
can
helps.
afford it.
Yeah. It's not cheap.
Ed's like, we only thought we could afford it. Yeah.
Right.
Right. I mean, the good news was we had the extra money. The bad news was we don't have that extra money anymore.
Starting from
Exactly.
scratch.
Oh,
Exactly.
man. Shoot.
But yeah, it's been good.
Are you guys excited though? At least like about life.
I am. Yeah, there
Yeah.
were things because this is our both of our hometowns. This is where we're from, and so it was just nice
Oh,
to
that's
roll
good.
in and be like, oh wow, the fall fair that comes up, the county fair. We always liked that, and we've got family in the area that we're super stoked to see and what have you. So
Dude,
Good,
it'll
man.
be good.
it's about to be TV Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday over at the Placidia
know.
Yeah,
household.
seriously.
I know. I think we planned it last night that it's TV Saturday and game night Friday or something like that.
Oh, so good.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So
That's
yeah,
gonna be awesome.
it's been an adventure for sure. We won't get our internet hooked up until next week, so not a lot of gaming for me besides The Simpsons, Untapped, and Family Guy on my mobile.
Yep.
And Lego Worlds broke, so that sucked.
What does that mean?
Wait, what? What does that mean?
It did?
I went to load my game, and I kept getting an error that said can't create the data.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. So that means everything you did was gone?
I guess. So they had me try a bunch of different things, try unhooking this, try making a face at the coffee maker, just all this kind of
Who's
stuff.
they? Was it a Microsoft telling you
It
these
was
things? Or
Warner Brothers Games
wow.
tech support.
What about-
and nothing worked, and they were like, hey, how about if you create a new Xbox account and see if that works? And I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with the game. I think I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah, good for you.
Jeez, that
gosh.
stinks. Because I know you were enjoying
What
it.
about cloud
that's-
saves and stuff?
Apparently, it couldn't find the cloud save because I totally got rid of my my Xbox ID on the. I cleared everything off the Xbox and reinstalled everything, and it found my save from the cloud, and it was like, nah, I can't create any save data. And I'm like, I want to open save data. I don't want to create anything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sounds like a corrupt file, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah. So I'll probably go back to it at some point, but I'm done trying to save the other one.
I know, that's right. Get the adulting out of the way first.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Ugh.
But
Oh
yeah.
man, well, it's good to hear that you're alive, man. I was so worried yesterday. I tried to
Yeah.
call you. I'm like, it said that your voicemail wasn't set up, and I'm like, wait, I know he got a new phone, but I didn't think he got a new number. And then I tried chatting on Google.
Yeah, we got new phones, and now Sarah and I both we actually use Google Voice for our phone or our voicemail, and for some reason when we got new phones this time it took over or something, so we have to reset all that up again.
Okay. I'm just glad you guys are all right. But the drive,
yes.
Yeah.
the drive was okay, barring. Did you have car trouble before or during the drive?
Before, so we got that out of the way, and it runs great and stuff, and that's all good. And
Good.
so yeah, it was an easy drive, and just good to be here. Stop running for a bit.
I know that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Amen
And
to that,
to be
man.
someplace where people are waiting for you with open arms and family
Right.
and all that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
that
all,
is the
man.
best.
Going into a support system instead of leaving one.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's much better.
When do I get to see you? That's my main question.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Hey, there you go.
I know, right? I wish, man.
Hey, it's an
Golly.
easy drive up to Indiana. Let's make this happen, man. We'll road trip it up.
There you go.
That is true. The 9th. Indianapolis, is that far from you?
It's a few hours, I think. 2 or
Oh,
3.
shoot. That's too many.
Oh, so
for
are
just
you
moved.
are you northern Indiana?
Yeah, we're in the northeast corner, so we're about 3 hours east of Chicago. We're just
Gotcha.
about touching Ohio.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I mean, you could come to Chicago. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'll just go to Nashville.
Yeah, we have big plans for Chicago, baby. Oh,
I know, right? Everyone's. That's cool to see everyone kind of getting together and planning to meet up for that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah,
next
that's gonna be a
week.
huge meetup.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Is that next week already?
That's next week, baby. Next Thursday.
Wow.
Oh, I can't wait.
Here before you know it.
So jealous.
It's gonna be awesome. Anyway, our other homeless host,
Oh man.
Tim Router.
Well, hello. My name is Tim Router. I'm 42 and I live with my parents.
Oh.
Aw.
Literally, I'm living with my parents. No, it's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Ed,
Jeez.
I, like you, have the exact same experience. I don't think I had 179 items. I may actually have more, but I was able to take care of a lot of that before the movers came because
Yeah.
I borrowed Pauline's van and I was able to make a couple runs to storage. But yes, we are officially moved out of our house. We are now in with my in-laws right up the street, and it's actually it's been really fantastic. It feels like I'm living in like a hotel room. Like the whole front part of their house is ours. So Lauren was able to set up everything, and it's not intrusive to them, which is great. And
Yeah.
Piper's room set up, and she's got her playroom upstairs, and I've got my office upstairs. So yeah, it's actually working really really well so far.
So where are you right now? Are you in the car or are you indoors?
I am up in their attic.
What?
Literally up in the attic,
It's
just
the
because.
creepiest thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of surrounded by coats and stuff just to kind of keep the sound down because I'm just worried. Like I don't want like.
The first
'Cause-
week you're in, you're disrupting everything at 5:30 in the morning.
Exactly.
You're like, we're not
5:30
going
in
to
the
be able to
morning.
have this anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, out to the car.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So I'm actually up in the attic, which is fine. That's where we have some of our stuff stored anyway. But it's working well so far.
Is it an attic like everybody thinks an attic, or is it like a nice attic?
Yeah.
No, it's an attic like everybody thinks it's an attic.
Like you
like-
had to pull down a thing and walk up a ladder?
There's fiberglass all
no, I
around you.
didn't have to walk up a ladder. Up in their bonus room, there's a door, and they have actually quite a large attic. So there's a bunch of stuff here. So I set up a table and a chair, and I'm right here.
Oh,
perfect.
yeah. Shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so
No,
it was
it's
like your
just-
old house where you just walk into it.
Yes, you walk
Okay.
into it. No, I didn't have to.
I was
I
still
didn't-
envisioning the pull down ladder.
Yeah,
and
Right, no, I didn't-
envisioning
not
too,
enough
right?
room for a table.
I didn't have to Clark Griswold it. Don't worry, I didn't have to pull anything down or anything like that.
Nice.
No, but it's good. But yeah, we man,
Got his laptop and a microphone going up the ladder trying to go up the stairs.
yeah, right.
By the end of the podcast, he's in Narnia.
Exactly. It's
That was
so
an
great.
attic, not a wardrobe.
Yes.
Right.
So
That's
good.
funny.
The movers came on Friday. I ended up having 6 guys in 2 trucks because they had 2. It was kind of a bonus because 2 of the guys were trainees, so they just brought them along anyway. So the guys were
Ooh.
like, basically, you got them for free. But it was really cool. They were really great guys, and we had it done in I think 5 hours. We cleared out our house. Then they drove over here to my
Wow.
in-laws to drop off the furniture because we brought in our bed and our dressers and Piper's bed and Piper's dressers just to try and make it as familiar for her and just
Right.
comfortable for us as possible. So they brought some stuff in, took some stuff up to the attic for us, and then everything else went to storage. And by the end, a bunch of us were all talking about the difference between Xbox One controllers and PS4 controllers.
No
it was
way.
great. So
Nice.
I made a friend request out of my boy Carlos. So shout out to Carlos and
Hey.
and Rico and a couple other guys that we were talking video games with and mentioned the podcast to them. So it was really cool. We actually had a good time.
I like
So
that.
so
There
that
you
was
go.
my St. Patrick's Day on Friday. Was basically moving.
Oh, that's right.
And then Saturday and Sunday, we just were cleaning out. We still had some stuff to clean out in the house, like the attics, and we cleaned up the house. And Monday, we officially closed, signed the paperwork, and so we are now homeless. And so we went over to our new house, though, and they've already got the trenching and the concrete poured, and the footings should all be in by next week. So things are moving, which is really great. and
There you
exciting.
go.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. But in the interim, it's been good. On Monday, we went to a Predators game, which is Piper's topic of the week. The Predators won, and her favorite player, Ryan Ellis, who's our defenseman, number 4, scored 2 goals. And of course, she
Hey.
thought that he scored 2 goals just for her. And
Oh,
why
of
not?
course.
And
He
of course,
did.
why not?
Didn't he?
So,
Right.
of course, yeah. So it was good. We had a really fun time, and we go to another Predators game on Thursday. We just had a bunch of friends and be like, "Hey, we got these tickets. You want them?" We're like, "Sure." So, and Piper loves it. I mean,
Nice.
a fight was breaking out. She's going, "Fight, fight, fight!" I'm like, "Oh, I was like, that's my girl." And then she's like, "Are the
Jeez.
Predators on a power play?" I'm like, "Yes, they are, honey." She's awesome. I'm kind of loving this. This
Do you
is
guys
pretty
do
great.
the whole, how much time is it left? How much time's left, ref? Do you guys do that thing?
No.
There was
No,
a
'cause
section
what
I used to sit in there that, like, because what does he say? 1 minute left on each
Yes.
period?
Yeah, and then
And the whole crowd would yell out, like, how much time's left? And they'd be like, 1 minute
Yeah,
remaining.
It's changed to 1 minute left in the period, and they all go, "Thanks, Paul," because Paul's the announcer.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's really
Paul.
cool.
So cool.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Dad.
it's really cool. Yeah, right.
Right.
So we've been doing that. Went to the Predators game. Went to go see Beauty and the Beast last night
Yes.
with our friends Heather and
Oh, yeah.
and Piper's best friend Lily, and ended up leaving 30 minutes in because we had to see it in 3D because that was the only time available.
Boo.
And
Oh, wow.
poor Lily, Piper's friend, was getting like motion sickness and like didn't feel
What?
well.
Mm.
She broke out in like a cold sweat, like right in the middle of the movie. So we're like, you know what? Let's just go. It's getting late anyway, and
Wow.
and she ended up like
That's
she
nuts.
was kind of fine in the car, and then went home and just like apparently crashed, just like fell asleep. So she must have been overtired and got somehow motion sickness from the 3D, which is pretty interesting. But so we're gonna go. They gave us free passes anyway because when they started the movie, it wasn't in 3D format. So they had to stop it.
No.
Like they had to stop it 15 minutes in. The manager came out and said, "Hey, I apologize. This is supposed to be in 3D format. We're going to get you free passes at the end. Just claim them with the manager.
I'd have been
He'll
like,
be
it's
around."
fine.
go.
Just play it in 2D. It's fine.
Right. I was
Yeah,
like,
everybody else
yeah.
is complaining, but you're like, no, this works.
No, I'm fine.
Exactly.
I'm totally fine with 2D. I don't need 3D. It's fine. So what's funny though is because we went to the manager halfway through, and she gave us not only our tickets because of the screw up, but additional tickets because we were leaving early
'Cause you're
just
cute.
because she was sick. Yeah. Well, and because Lily was going to
For
throw
you,
up on her.
Dirks, you can have extra passes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dirks Bentley came
Yes.
through with his friends, so we just hooked him up with passes because, rich
Yeah.
people need stuff for free.
That's right. All right, now. So I actually got double the amount of passes, which is really cool. So we're gonna go back
That's
probably this weekend and go see it. But so far, what I saw was really good.
Yeah.
And so that's been going down, and I just set up the PlayStation up in the bonus room.
Nice.
So hopefully I'll be able to get back to it. I'm just dying over here, just dying. So I'm only playing Clash Royale, and yeah, man, it's just moving is it's just stressful, and it's just so just as an example, like on my watch, I was keeping track of my activity. On Sunday, I walked a total of like 20,000+ steps,
Yeah.
10.1 miles, burned 1,100 calories, And
Jeez.
and yeah, it was insane because there's
I
a
hope
lot
you
of
ate good that night.
yeah, man. I ate like a king that night. But it was because there's just a lot of back and forth. I mean, I still had the van. I was taking stuff down to storage, so it's lifting, walking, all this. Just it's everywhere, and it's just exhausting. And I looked at Lauren. I'm like, can we never do this again, please? Can this house be the last house we ever live in?
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had so much stuff, and thank goodness we got a dumpster too, because we went through 2 dumpsters completely full.
Oh my gosh!
Because like I've said before, we'd been in that house for 14 years, and I really feel like Hoarders is going to come and do an episode of us at some point. I was looking at all this stuff. I'm like, why are we keeping this stuff? This is insane.
Right.
Yeah.
So but it was good. It was a good purge. We got rid of a lot of stuff, and so now I think we've kind of trimmed the fat a little bit. But our 2 storage units are packed now, and now we just wait, and we're going to just be stopping by the house almost every day to check progress and move from there. So we're starting to get into the swing of things. It's nice to get back into a routine. Our poor dog Thaxton, he has no idea what was going on, and so he was like he's been by our side like the whole time. But he loves Pop
He's
too.
climbed out the dumpster twice. You guys are like,
That's right.
dang it.
He loves my father-in-law though, so it's great. Like they're good buds, but he doesn't know the sleeping arrangements because he's not used to, he's used to going into the master bedroom with us and then being able to go in his cage when he wants to, and now he's not. So, but he's doing fine. And Piper has been an absolute champ. Like, she was over at the house with us when we were cleaning up. There's nothing to do, and she just was amusing herself and just having a great time. It was really nice. At our last time of being in the house, we walked through each room, and we each shared a memory of what happened in that room. And Piper was making up stuff that she totally didn't do and thinking it was a memory. It was amazing. It was amazing. She's like, She's like, do you remember when I did this? And we're like, yes, but no, honey, you didn't do that. It's okay, though. And then...
You're like a beautiful mind.
Exactly.
Remember when I brought the CIA down in this room?
Right. Oh, yeah. No, not so much.
I remember you're a liar.
Exactly. You 5-year-old liar.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway.
Jeez.
Turn off that imagination.
Exactly.
Get in the real world, sweetie.
That's right. There's no joy in your heart when you're 5 years old anymore. Come on. It's adulting now. Exactly. We're adulting. We did do something really cool, though. Lauren had a great idea. We grabbed a Sharpie, and on one of the beams in the attic, we just wrote "The happiest family lived here," and then put the years that we lived in the house, and then we all signed our names. And it was, I thought that was really nice.
You didn't do it with with a paint spray can? Yeah. Graffiti in the house before you leave.
We should have graffitied. No, but yeah. Exactly.
And then the people moving into the house had to call the radon detector people to get a second opinion. Like, were they really the happiest family?
Yeah, exactly.
They had to get the HOA.
The HOA, speaking of which, the HOA called us out on where the radon venting was. And so the new owner has to resubmit a form.
No way.
My realtor just emailed me yesterday. She's like, they sent pictures saying, hey, this isn't where we had approved. And honestly, it was the new homeowner's decision and the guys that did the mitigation anyway. They were like, there's no reason why this needs to be here. It's going to make noise. It's right outside the master bedroom. And so the new owner, wanted it in a different spot, and so did he. So they put it in a different spot. And of course, they freaked out about it. And I told my realtor, I'm like, look, I'm done. I don't own it anymore.
I know. What are they coming to you for? Like, what are you going to do? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. What are you going to do? Find me? See ya. Anything from the homeowners association, I just rip up now. I'm just so over it.
I can't believe that.
So over. I know. They have nothing better to do. So,
jeez, HOAs, man.
Yeah,
forget those things.
It's ridiculous. I mean, like the money that goes to the HOA is usually for the upkeep. Like, my dues went toward landscaping, the pool, all that stuff. And I get it, that's fine. But don't tell me how to run my home, and don't tell me where to put things, because I leave that to the professionals. These guys do radon mitigation all the time. They know the best places of where it needs to go, and it's a crawl space issue as well, because they need enough space for the vents. And I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving it to them, and these people don't know what they're talking about anyway. So whatever. Yeah, so I'm done with homeowners associations, and I'm done talking. That's it for me.
Yeah.
So do they not have one at the new place where you guys are going?
What's that? Oh yeah, we're gonna have. There'll be one, and I'm sure it'll be annoying too.
It'll be worse.
It'll probably be worse. Yeah. It probably could be worse, but we'll see.
No, Router, you have to part your hair on this side.
Exactly.
How it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to trim your tiger claws.
That's right.
Exactly. We saw you get in your car and drive half a mile. You're supposed to use the golf cart for that. That's what these golf carts are for.
Exactly. Oh, unbelievable. Anyway, that's it for me.
You used a 7 wedge?
There is not enough Michael McDonald in your iPod.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
You are the magic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Gosh, I love his voice so much.
I know. Isn't it the best, man? Where's Dave? And here we come.
That's
right, man.
baby.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, this is so good. You are the magic. You're right where I wanna be.
I'm like, what is that? Is that a ham sandwich in your throat, or is that just?
That's right, man.
Oh, no.
That's
You're allowed
so
to
good.
open your mouth when you sing if you want.
I saw Michael.
How do we get onto Michael McDonald, man? Out of all this, it's amazing.
Leave it to
That's
Ed.
what I love about this podcast, baby.
Blame it on the Ed.
He's just going to blame it on me like last
something.
week.
That's so amazing.
I saw Michael McDonald. We had gone to lunch somewhere, and he walked in, and I was like, "Oh snap! There goes Michael McDonald. That's pretty dope." And like kind of, I mean, I don't know why, but we just happened to see each other. I was already staring. Why he looked in my direction?
I was already staring.
It's probably because I was already staring. And then I went to dinner, and he went to the same place again, and we looked at each other, and just kind of nodded, like, "What's up?" Like, "Oh yeah, what's up?"
Yeah, what's up?
I was like,
It's like,
"Oh,
what's
snap,
up? I'm
that's
not stalking you.
Yeah, exactly. I was here first. Stop stalking me.
That's right. Eat
He's
the
like,
pork chops.
Yeah. He's like, "I think there's a car from Toby Mac." Anyway. Chris McCracken.
Oh, good night.
Yeah, it's all you,
fellas.
brother. I'm
You
done.
didn't
Back
move
to you, Chris.
this week, but you had
I
an
did not.
amazing weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
did.
was not at home for the weekend because I took a trip to Seattle.
Yeah,
Seattle.
So, Stacy, she travels for a living, obviously, as I've said before, and every now and then we just kind of get this idea. We're like, hey, you should. We'll fly you up. Like we'll be talking about, like let's have you fly up there, and we'll have a trip. Like we'll tack on some time at the end of a trip or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was the first time where we had kind of done it in the reverse, where she was going up to Seattle to start work, and so I went up at the beginning of the trip. And I was a little, wasn't sure because all the other times, because I'm getting up there at the end, it's like the entire time I'm there, we're both able to do things together because she's off now and she's finished with her job. This time we were going to have the first day completely to ourselves, and then the rest of the time we were going to have to hang out around when she actually had to work. So I was a little unsure about how it would work in terms of us getting to spend time together. But it actually worked out really great. So we flew up on Saturday. We got there at about, I think it was like 5 in the evening. And we had plans. So there's a couple that used to live here in the Dallas area and worked at the same company that we do, but they had moved up to Seattle a number of years ago. They've been up there about 5 now. And so we were going to get to go see them that night and hang out with them. And because a lot of the other people that were there for work, to work with Stacy, they also knew them. So we all got to meet up as like a big group.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they work at this brewery out there. It's a local brewery called Reuben's Brews. So if anybody's in the Seattle area and you've heard of that place and haven't checked it out, you should definitely go. It's open like to the public, so you can go there and you can buy drinks, and they have food trucks and stuff out there, and you can get some really good burgers, which we had for dinner that night. But it was a lot of fun, and because they work there, we were able. We bought our own drinks, but we were able to sample a bunch of different ones like for free, and we were able to get a tour of the brewery and see all the behind the scenes stuff. And that was really cool, which I've done brewery tours before, but it's different when you know the person. You can ask like any question on their side and see everything that you want to see. Uh-huh. So that's a really cool thing to do if you're a beer nut or into if you're cool about seeing like how things are brewed and all the different ingredients and just hearing the stories about how they do all that stuff. I find it fascinating. I don't want to do it because it sounds like a ton of work, but it's really cool how like beer becomes a thing and how they even figured out how to make it. It's just
I know, it's amazing.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it really is. So that was really, really awesome. went to bed, went home and went to bed that night. And then the next morning we got up, and that was going to be the day Stacy and the rest of the team started, but they weren't starting until the evening. She's working overnights on this trip.
Oh, wow.
So that morning we got up with a couple of the other guys that were there for work, and we went down to downtown Seattle. We ate breakfast at a little local place that whose name I can't say on the show, but we'll just call it
Rhymes with
Biscuit Female Dog. We'll just say that. That was the name of the restaurant.
There it is.
I was like, okay. And it actually was really funny because of all the different stuff they had on the wall, but I can't repeat. But if you live in Seattle, definitely go check it out. The food is amazing. So I really liked it. And there was a line. We had to wait in a line to get inside there. So,
wow.
It was really good. After that, we walked down a few blocks and went to the Pike Market, which the Pike Market is definitely like a touristy kind of place.
Oh, yeah.
Not that locals don't go there too, but it's definitely
They're
like
putting on a show down there.
a tourist hotspot. But I've been to Seattle twice, and both times I've been to Pike Market, and I still feel like I haven't seen everything. It's a really cool place. Yeah. There's tons of little shops and places where you can get seafood and groceries and collectibles and toys and whatever you want to do. People playing music. They're throwing fish around. It's an awesome place. If you ever go to Seattle, you've got to at least go check it out. But a couple of people that we were with had not been to Seattle before, so we were like, all right, well, we got to go to Pike Market. So we took them down there. After we'd been there for a couple of hours, we headed back to the hotel. Stacy and most of the rest of the team wanted to try to get some sleep in during the day to help transition themselves to me because they're going to be up all night. So we were staying in Bellevue, which is east of Seattle, across the water. And so when they went to sleep, I went ahead and went down to downtown Bellevue and just kind of walked around to check things out. I ended up finding the Bungie offices.
Oh yeah,
because they're over there.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's weird because they're in like it's kind of like an outdoor mall area. Like right next to Bungie is like a 24-hour fitness or an LA Fitness or something, and then like a Starbucks and all these other little odds and end shops. But when you get there, their walls outside of their office doors has just got all this Destiny memorabilia and like insignias and stuff all over the place. And of course, it was a Sunday, so nobody was there. Except for the security guard who kept eyeballing me as I was walking around taking all these selfies with Destiny written in the back.
Nice.
And all these pictures. And then I found the building where Sucker Punch is, but Sucker Punch is in like a high rise.
Yes.
So there's not, and again, with it being Sunday, I couldn't actually get in the building. But I was just trying to see if there was like a sign or something I could take a picture with, and there wasn't. But it was still cool to be like, all right, hey, Sucker Punch, where some really awesome games are made right there. I'm just telling people on the street, hey, did you know cool, awesome games are made here? They're like, leave me alone. I'm trying to catch my buzz. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever.
That's awesome.
So when that was done, I went back to the hotel and met up with Stacy, and we hung out for a little bit before she had to go to work. And then downtown Bellevue is actually where our store is that she's working at. And so since that had been where I was kind of walking around and checking things out, I knew that right across from the store was an Irish pub that I had found. So I went there for dinner. Nice. And as I'm getting ready to go to the pub and changing clothes and everything, I get a message from Stanson. He's like, hey, I'm going to be done wrapping up all the stuff that I've been doing tonight in a couple of hours. Do you want to come by? I was like, sure, I'm heading to dinner, and then I'll definitely head your way. And so I had dinner at the pub, which was really good. And then I headed over to Stansel's house, and man... Nice. I just had an amazing time. So I got to meet his wife, Becky, who I'd never met before, obviously, because she didn't come to 200 or 100. She's just the sweetest person.
Isn't she?
Like,
so awesome.
She is. And so I got there, I think it was like 8:30 or 8:45. I didn't leave until 2 a.m.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. And the like when we were chatting about me coming over, it was like, yeah, maybe we'll play some games or something like that. We didn't play any games.
No,
all we did was just talk the whole time.
That's so great.
The whole time. And I felt horrible because, it's a Sunday, so it's like 2 a.m. It's getting approaching 2 a.m. Yeah. And I'm like, hey man, I know you got to get to work tomorrow. He's like, no, man, no, for real. You can just stand like you want. He's like yawning and everything. And I'm like,
you hung out with Michael McDonald?
You were at Michael McDonald's house? That's amazing.
Well, if you want to,
do what you want.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, it was just an awesome time.
That's so cool,
hanging out.
Man.
And
that's great.
And I was really appreciative of their time, being like what you were saying, he had to get up and go to work the next day and everything.
Right.
But it was really, really great.
He was cussing you the next day.
Yeah, probably the next morning was like, dang,
he was at lunch like, I can't believe I'm staying up so late. Really wish I could take a nap, y'all.
My eyes are
You're gonna make me
bloodshot.
spit my coffee on the screen over here. Oh my gosh. So the next day, Sunday, or excuse me, it was Monday. Now I'm getting my days all jacked up. So it was Monday. That was the day that I had organized and tried to set up a meetup with some listeners that were up in the Seattle area. I'd been DMing with 3 different people. Blessing Jr., who works out in the Seattle area.
Oh yeah.
Brian Armstrong, and then Bo Mannery.
Awesome.
Nice. Brian was one it was like kind of the first one I started talking to, and then I added the other 2 into the group message. He had came up with this place that we could have lunch that was not too far from him. Unfortunately, Blessing was like, I'm really not going to be available till after I get off work at 3:30, but I just made sure to keep him in the loop the whole time in case something changed.
Of course.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out, and I didn't get to meet him, but I'm sure I'll be back up to Seattle at another point, so we'll try to have to make it happen then. And then, so Brian had picked out this place called 5 Point Cafe, I think.
You're like
so I
5
messaged him,
point. I can't say the rest of the name on the podcast.
Yeah.
5 Point
Fortunately,
female
it
dog.
wasn't one of those situations again.
5 point illegitimate child.
I kept calling it Chef Point in the messaging, but it's because we have a Chef Point out here, and I was like, wait, I just realized I'm totally confusing you people. It's 5 Point Cafe, so I had to make sure I had the name right. And then I would say it was probably that morning I got up and I'm messaging them all and saying, okay, here we're going to be here. I'm going to try to be there around noon. It'll be great to see everybody. And then Brian messages me and he goes, guys, I just found out I've got to give this presentation at work. I didn't know I had to give, and it's right after lunch. So I need to work through lunch to get the presentation set.
Oh, the old presentation at work excuse.
I know, right?
You're like, Stancil stayed up till 2.
What did you do, Jack?
You're going to go present.
I just kidding.
So unfortunately, he couldn't come either. But the saving grace is I still got to meet up with Bo. And Bo had his wife actually had arranged it so that he could have Monday and Tuesday off, just kind of happenstance, because she had flown in his mom and his grandmother from Iowa to visit and hang out with the family.
Oh,
I know.
wow.
So I'm like, wait a minute. So you have this unexpected time off that your wife arranged for you because she flew in your mom and your grandma, and you're trying to change all these plans up to just meet me. It's like, no. It's like,
wow.
Why don't you all do your thing? You know, family seems more important. He's like, no, we were going to be in Seattle anyways. We're just roaming around and everything. It's like, all right, cool. So it turns out that the 5 Point Cafe was having construction and stuff done.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh man, so that location wasn't going to work. They couldn't house, there's now going to be 7 of us. So I was like, they just didn't have the room to accommodate us. So I went out to Seattle early, and I'm walking all around trying to find a place. Finally found a place called Serious Pies. I looked it up on Yelp. It wasn't going to be too expensive. It looked like they were going to be able to accommodate us. They didn't open till 11. They weren't open yet. And so I'm all trying to look in the windows. Do you have seats for 7 people? And there was nobody there. So I messaged him. I said, hey, I think this place is going to work. Does that sound cool? He's like, yeah, sure. So about noon, we both met up there. He was parking, and I was walking up from, just roaming around Seattle. And I walk up to him, and I see him. He's got this Zelda Breath of the Wild hat on. So I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Bo. And I go up there, and I shake his hand, and his family's still getting out of the car, and we're just kind of chit-chatting a little bit. And he goes, hey, man, I got you something.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What?
Here comes a PS4 Pro.
Okay. No, yeah.
Xbox One S.
So I want to underscore this because Gabe said this before. If we have the opportunity to meet people, y'all don't need to give us anything.
That's right.
I mean, for us,
But underlying need, you still can.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, you said
I'll take it a whole nother way. That can be our gift, if you will, is getting the opportunity to meet you guys, because we don't get to do that.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
That is a gift.
I don't want
Definitely.
anybody to ever feel, and I don't get to do this nearly as much as Gabe does. But anytime I've done it, it's been amazing. It's like, that's all that I need is just to be able to see you people's smiling faces and hang out for a while. That's gift enough for me.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, what he got me is he opened up the trunk, and he had this like a tote bag, like you'd go to if you go and take your own bags to groceries or whatever.
I don't know why my
groceries.
brain is working so weird this morning. It's like, you opened up the trunk, and so there's this body in there.
body.
No.
There's his head in the
I'm not the only
bag.
one.
That wasn't there. That wasn't there. It wasn't one of those
This is how we
situations.
roll in Seattle.
And then I ran, and I was like, yeah, now you're initiated. It's like, no.
Here's a brick of cocaine. Enjoy.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
His grandma hands it to me. It's like, oh no.
Right.
Would you like a cookie, dear?
We hard up
No, I
here.
wouldn't. Yeah. That's funny.
So he had gotten me a Donald Duck Funko Pop because I never got Donald on
way.
Disney
Oh,
Crossing
that's a
Road.
freak.
That's
And
amazing.
it's a Disney Kingdom Hearts, like that's the outfit that the Donald's wearing.
Yes, that's
And
so
I was like,
great.
oh my gosh, that's so thoughtful and like perfect.
Yeah,
I was like,
man.
I can't believe it's like
I
I'd
love our
almost forgot
community.
about that game because I deleted it long ago, getting so frustrated by not getting Donald. And I was like, that's just
awesome.
so perfect that now I have Donald. So he's up on my shelf. And then, but that wasn't all.
Oh,
Mm.
no.
He gave me his Horizon Zero Dawn Collector's Edition Aloy statue.
Oh, that's what you
What?
wanted. That's what you wanted.
Yeah.
What?
Because I didn't have one. He said, I know you're loving this game. I know you passed on the collector's edition and you were regretting it. He's like, I've got tons of different collectors and all kinds of stuff in my man cave, if you will. He's like, I feel like you should have this. And he gave it to me.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
And I was
Come
just
on.
floored. I was like, I can't accept this. And of course, no matter how much I told him that, he wouldn't let me not accept it. I was just like, I couldn't
Wow.
believe it. And
and
he was
Stacy
like,
wasn't
yeah,
there
man.
to help.
That
Yeah,
is
she
amazing.
wasn't there, and he was just like, "Yeah." He's like, and part of it really is it's just I'm laughing in my head because I know you're gonna have to try to find a way to get this on the plane. He's like, I don't know if you have room in your suitcase, and I didn't, so I had to carry it on. And I'm like, everybody's like, I'm going through security, and it got hung up in security.
Of course
They
it
kept
did.
looking at it like, what in the
it
world
really?
is this thing? Yeah, it did. And then finally it pushed through, and I was able to fly back with it. It's up here on my shelf.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Aloy.
That's so
That
awesome.
is
so awesome and
incredible,
just-
Chris.
oh
Way to
my
go.
gosh.
Oh, best
Wait,
community
Seattle
ever.
hospitality threw down.
Well,
I know,
married
right?
to the game's hospitality is just like next level.
Yeah, it
like
really
it's just
is.
great. Our community is so thoughtful. It's nuts.
Yeah, they are.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
My God.
So
Amazing.
after all that amazing, I was like, geez, how can it get better? And it did, because turns out his family is freaking awesome.
Oh,
So we had lunch and we just had this amazing conversation. So I'm gonna say everybody's names real quick. So it was Bo, obviously. It was his wife Kelly, his daughter Jordan, his son Keel, his mom Kim, and his grandma Angela, which were the sweetest people
Oh,
in the
my
world.
God.
His
Wow.
wife
Amazing.
listens to the show.
What?
The kids, his son. So his son had a Switch. And he was playing Zelda. And when we got to the table, he ran over to the table. He set his Switch down, and he was like, "Okay, Dad, you sit here, and then Chris, you sit right here between us." And I was like, "Okay,
Nice.
cool."
right.
And he had
That's
just
the
started
best.
playing Zelda, which, as you can imagine, so like he's like all enthralled with it, and he's showing me these different things, and he had just started the game, so like his Link only had like shorts on and a bow, and it's like, "Oh my gosh, he doesn't have shoes." He's like, "I know, I haven't found it yet," and he's like doing all these different things, and then the pizza gets there, and his mom's like, "Okay, you need the pizza." And he takes 2 bites, and he goes, "Can I go back to Zelda now?"
No, it's
Oh,
amazing.
that's cool.
And then Bo had brought his Switch, so I actually got to hold the Switch and see it and kind of mess around with the menus and take the Joy-Cons off and the kickstand and everything. And I have to say, my first time ever, touching a Switch and handling it and seeing, it seems like a really good piece of hardware.
Mm-hmm.
I
cool,
feel like
good.
it's definitely a step in the right direction for Nintendo over the Wii U. I mean, the Wii U was it felt like a Fisher-Price toy. This doesn't
Yeah.
feel like a Fisher-Price toy.
That's good.
And I didn't play anything like really intense, obviously. I'm just kind of messing with the menus and moving characters around a little bit to get a handle of the controls.
Sure.
I do feel like this is going to be like the demise of the 3DS, or it's going to be the replacement, if you will. Because, I mean, he was like, we almost never put the thing in TV mode. We pretty much mostly use it as a
Right,
handheld. I was
exactly.
like, it just
Yeah.
feels like it's so at home in that way.
Yeah.
And the fact that you
does.
can take them
Right.
off and do the whole tabletop mode, and you have that ability. I mean, I'm sure it's perfectly great in the dock and in TV mode as well. But I was definitely impressed having messed around with it. That it looked like Nintendo did a real solid job on the Nintendo
Oh, that's
Switch.
cool.
There you go.
So that was cool. Lunch was awesome. As I said before, the conversations and just talking with his family and getting to meet them is really cool. I put a picture up on Twitter, on the Married to the Games Twitter afterwards.
Isn't it nice going
And-
and meeting families?
It is. And the thing is that you walk away from it, they just made me feel like I was included. Like I didn't feel like this weird outsider. You know what I mean? That they were just meeting. Everybody was just so nice and talked to me like they just known me, kind of thing. You know,
So
which in a
cool.
way they do.
Yeah.
They
because,
do,
they listen to
yeah.
the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you said last week. I think it was last week where it's like, when you meet somebody, it's like they know all this stuff about you and you're just now learning about them.
Right.
It's just kind of a weird situation to be in, but it always just, the few times I've gotten to do it, it works out really well.
That's so cool.
awesome.
That's great, man. Oh,
So
I love that.
After that was done, they went on. We split off, and I head back to the hotel. Hung out with Stacy a little bit, and then that night we went back to downtown Bellevue because we met up with Stancil and Becky and Gil and Connie for dinner.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
You got one up on me. I haven't met Connie yet. That's awesome.
There we go. Finally, one up on Gabe. I've got it.
Yeah,
that was my mission in life. And again, same thing when I met Becky. Connie is just sweet as all can be. They were just amazing time. I don't know how many hours we were there. It was probably like 2 or 3 hours, but we just hung out and chatting. We got to the point where they're coming. They're like, the waiter's asking, "Are you sure you don't need anything else?" Kind of giving you that hint that like, we would really like this table back. You know? Right. And so we started kind of feeling bad. We're like, all right, we should probably go. And then we go out to the front of the building and we're like trying to take a couple pictures. And we just keep finding reasons to like not walk away yet because we just want to keep hanging out. And then finally, it just kind of came that time where we're like, well, we need to go back to the hotel because Stacey got to meet with the team and go to work anyways. And we got a picture there, and I think that Stancil put the picture of our group up on Twitter as well.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was just, the entire trip was just so amazing. And the fact that I got to spend it with Stacey and like she didn't get to meet up with Bo because she was sleeping. But she definitely got to meet with Stancil and Stancil's wife and Gil's wife, who she hadn't met because she had met Gil and Stancil at episode 200.
Yeah, 200.
And just to be able to rope her into all this stuff and us to spend time together and then also get to go and do gaming stuff. It was just a really, really great trip. I couldn't have asked for it to have been better.
That's so cool, man.
And to share it with Stacey just made it so much better. You know, it was awesome. But it was an amazing time. I'm back home now. I flew home yesterday. I got home later in the evening.
Nice.
And then I just picked up dinner, and I actually crashed because I've been spending a lot of time up, and I haven't played anything gaming at all. The only thing that I did gaming wise since last time that we spoke was I did take the Vita on the plane. But I brought it out, played like a couple rounds on Runner 2 on the Vita, and then Stacey looked over and said, "Hey, can I try that?" And then
boom, that was
confiscated my Vita for the rest of the flight.
Nice.
So
What did she play? Did she play Runner?
She played Runner. She played a little bit of everything. Mirazaki's Baby. She played Whoa Dave. Just anything that I had on. She was just flipping from game to game to game.
See,
That's really cool.
You're going to have to get that Switch when Runner 3 comes out. She's going to be itching for it.
I know. Jeez.
No, so she's out. She's out for the next 3 weeks now, right?
She's out for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Nice.
So the job she's doing right now is a remodel or a refresh, really, because those are a little bit less intensive. Those usually are a little bit less time. So she's only there 2 weeks. If it's a new store, she's typically gone about 3. So she'll be back in 2 weeks. And then I don't think her next trip is until sometime in June or July. I think I could totally have that wrong because little jobs pop up, and I'm not sure which ones she's tied to at the moment. So it'll be about a week and a half before I see her again. So I got to hold down the fort. This weekend, we had my in-laws, when they came last weekend, they took our little dog, Ellie, up to Oklahoma to kind of watch her for us. So this coming weekend, I got to arrange the schedules and stuff and I'm going to go meet up with them and pick up Ellie. So the house is just it's like just me. There's no click-clack of dog paws or anything. It's just really weird. It's
got to be weird.
Kind of takes a little getting used to the first day or so, but it's like I'll be going and picking her up, and I'll be excited to do that because I miss her.
There you go.
There you go.
But that is me.
Sounds all. I should have gone before you.
So cool, man.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
It was. I mean, I'm not saying you should be jealous, but you should be jealous.
No, we're jealous. Don't worry, we're jealous.
Everybody's jealous.
Definitely jealous.
Even people that just started listening this week are like, "Oh man, that did sound like a good time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm not gonna be able to live up to that at all. What did we do this week? We were in New York.
Yes.
New York.
I love that. I'm not going to be able to live up to that at all. I was in New York.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some pretty cool stuff did happen this past week. I did get to do a little bit of my, like Chris, my ambassador duties.
Nice.
Meeting up with Chris from Everyday Gamers, the Everyday Gamers podcast.
Nice.
Holy Headshot.
There you go.
On Twitter. And so got to meet up with him, his family, and not everybody. He's got, what did he say? He got 6 kids.
Oh, wow.
So I met his youngest, who's got like the best name on the planet, because it's not often that I meet another Gabe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very few.
Nice.
Us Gabes got to stick together, man.
That's right, man.
So he's got 5 kids, paramedic. And I think his wife does something in the hospital too. I don't remember exactly.
That's awesome.
What they were saying she does, but they came out to the Albany show, And so, because the routing made so much sense that we were in Albany, then down in Norfolk, Virginia, and then back up to New York.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Exactly. So that was a little crazy, obviously with the snow and everything, and driving and all that stuff. But it was a good time to sit down and play Zelda and just be on the Switch and have good conversation. Nice. And so that
okay.
Still doing it.
Not feeling it.
I made a big mistake, and I don't know if anybody feels like they have to share their wrongdoings. Oh, number one, let me say, hanging with Chris and see this. I only got to see him for a little bit because of the drive up, so we didn't get up there till later in the day and everything like that. But seeing those guys and meeting those guys was awesome. I felt bad because as we're sitting in catering, his wife and her friend are mouthing all the words that are going on in the arena still. I was like, they'd much rather be watching the show right now than talking
go.
Some stranger. So I felt bad about that. But
did you get them passes?
I don't think so. I think they had bought tickets and everything like that already. Nice. And let me know they were coming. And then I just brought them backstage when we were there hanging out.
Oh, that's perfect.
But it was cool because I brought them into catering and all of the tour was kind of eaten in there, so they got to meet Toby and stuff like that. So that was
that's cool. Good. That's great.
Fun. Yeah, it was funny because we were walking out and I was like, "Wait, you guys want to meet Toby?" Like he's sitting right over there. And so I took him over to meet Toby. So that was fun. So I don't know if anybody else feels like they have to confess their sins to one another, but I had one of those times. So I was texting with Chris the other day and I was like, I made a mistake this week. He's like, oh no, what did you do? I was like, well, New York was cold and snowing and I didn't feel like going anywhere. So I was like, I'm going to just stay on the bus. We played at Madison Square Garden. So we're parked right there in the midst of everything. We played the theater at Madison Square Garden.
You're in the heart of it.
Yeah, we're there in the mix. And I don't know if it's just that I'm taking for granted that I've been there so many times. So I was like, didn't feel like I need to go do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you kind of feel like that, but I was like, I just don't feel like being cold. And so I ended up staying on the bus and I should have just played Zelda, I should have just moved the needle a little bit, but just a little. I ended up popping in that Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, boy.
That game is awesome.
Yes.
Oh.
And we never saw Zelda again.
Oh, no.
That's how
He's selling the Switch next week.
That's how
One more Switch up on Craigslist.
That's right. That's right.
Another one bites the dust. It was, man.
Wow.
That game is good, man.
I cannot wait. Oh,
that's awesome.
This is what sucks about it. So Zelda, I'm still playing. I'm still gonna play it, and I'm gonna beat it.
Okay.
But dang, that
really,
Horizon just, and I don't know what the difference is there, but Horizon just grabbed me in a different way. I don't know if it's I guarantee with people that have played Zelda, I don't even know where this Zelda falls in the story, if it's a real story that goes along with the stories that have happened in the past, or if it's that's why they put it 100 years in the future, if it's just its standalone thing and the things they're talking about never really happened in another game. I haven't looked that up yet to know. But I if I was a Zelda guy, I can see this Zelda because it's got so many callbacks to old stuff. I just don't know what game it's connected to. And all the little sounds are there and everything like that, and that I recognize even from not being a Zelda guy. So I'm playing that and it's fine. It's not like I'm not disappointed. There's nothing that I had to that it had to live up to for me.
Right.
But Horizon just grabbed me in such a different way. And it was just so good. I just played and played and played for probably, I think
that's
I
awesome.
got
That's
to play,
awesome.
sit down and play for like 3 or 4 hours or something like that, which I hadn't been able to do with any game. It felt like in the past month or longer to just be able to sit down and play like that, especially a story, maybe, Overwatch or something. But, man, oh man, I get it.
Good,
That's
huh?
awesome.
I get it. And people should
I
go
can't
play
wait
that
to play.
game.
Yeah,
Oh.
man, I cannot wait. Oh.
So did that while I was in New York. And then the craziest thing happened. They had this huge like pay-per-view HBO championship boxing match going on upstairs, like in Madison Square
the Garden.
proper,
Yeah.
like what you think
Yeah.
of when you think of the Garden. And
yeah.
And so anytime we go and play the theater, there's usually something going on upstairs. And so our guys know, like our production team, and they know like, hey, just ask the venue if there's, seats upstairs that we can, because usually the venue holds seats. And so, and they did. They had like 6 seats, 6 tickets. And you guys might not know this about me, but I love boxing. Like,
Yeah, you do.
don't love it in the way I love it. Like I love jazz. Like if you say, "Oh, you like this fighter," I'm gonna be like, "Oh, well, I don't know that name, but I love intaking it. I love watching it.
You like the
I'm not
sport.
up too much on who's popular right now because I feel like boxing doesn't have that standout star right now.
Yeah.
It felt like everybody knew Evander Holyfield, everybody knew Tyson, everybody knew George
Of course.
Foreman. Everybody knew Money Mayweather, like Manny Pacquiao, and so I feel like boxing's dwindled in its stars for some reason. I feel like that's where the UFC is doing a little bit better right now.
Yeah,
With,
I
like,
agree.
Ronda Rousey's and people like that.
Yeah.
Ortiz. These names. Anyway, so they're like, yeah. So it just so happened that when our show ended, there was like a 30-minute window there before the main event started.
Main event. Oh, wow. Good timing.
Oh, wow.
So, man,
Good timing.
I mean, we just walk up there and they like take us the back way and we look very important and we like walk out of the chute like we're where the boxers would come out and like into our seats. And anytime this happens, people are always looking at us like, who is that? Like, why do they get escorted in? Who is that?
It's Darius Rucker.
Yeah, exactly. And so we go and sit down in our seats and it's like close. It's like so close that like, when you go to a concert and you usually have the option of looking at the stage or looking at the side screens and you usually just end up looking at the side screens. This was close enough where you looked at the boxing ring.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
I put it on my Instagram on Gabe Patillo on Instagram, like how close I was to one of the fighters that when he walked out, the champ. And so I don't remember that guy's last name. They call him Triple G. And he was going up against this guy, Jacobs, who was actually a hometown kid. He's from New York. And so, but it was really interesting. The other guy's from like Kazakhstan. And so it was so crazy because there was this huge, the crowd, like I thought they were going to be giving it for the hometown kid, which they did. But like this guy from Kazakhstan, Triple G, they were like, he's undefeated. He's a middleweight champ. This was his like 16th time defending his title.
Wow.
And the electricity in the room was just incredible.
Wow.
And so they're just yelling, and it was a boxing match. It was like it was awesome. They went.
That's so cool.
We got to stay. We were leaving at 1 a.m, and we got to stay for all 12 rounds.
Nice.
A real fight broke out in like the stands someplace.
Sweet.
What?
Yeah, it was
That's New
awesome.
York for you.
God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then they did like Bruce Buffer was the announcer, and so that was just kind of like
Nice.
cool to be there
Nice.
with a legend of boxing announcing. And then they kind of like Bruce Buffer did this thing before the main event where he starts kind of like naming some people in the crowd, and so he's like, Roy Jones Jr. is there, who's another big boxer.
Nice.
Evander Holyfield was there.
Wow.
Louis C.K. was there. Jerry
wow.
Seinfeld was there. Dave Chappelle was there. I was like, and we're like, you have to understand, we're 2 rows off the floor. So if you imagine boxing, they put the ring in the middle, and then they have the floor seats where all the celebrities sit, and then there's like some risers that are still on the floor before you get to the 100s. We're on the risers. We're second row on the risers. We happen to be behind the press, and so we weren't like over by where the celebrities were, but it was just crazy being in the same room with like these legends of comedy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my gosh. And he named some other people I was tripping that Chappelle and Louis and Seinfeld were there. I was like,
that is nuts.
I'm going crazy right now. So
it's so cool.
Yeah, it was like I was like, what is life that I'm here watching a championship boxing match in Madison Square Garden? Like, this is where you don't go anywhere else to watch fights. I mean, arguably Philly is another big place for boxing, but Madison Square Garden, come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Things have gone
That's
down.
the pinnacle, man.
Yes.
Wow.
And I want to do a shout out to next week because I am going to be in Chicago, like I was saying, and the show will come out after I've hung out there. And
Yes.
So it's kind of open invite, man. We've got like a little crew that's going to meet up and we're going to go to the arcades. Right now, it's freaking Josh Stapleton, Adam Payeth from the Community. I'm not sure if that's how you say his last name. Nick Cooper. Bradley C is coming out with his wife from Green Bay.
Oh, nice.
And freaking Scotty Lindsay.
Oh,
very cool.
Nice.
That's the list right now. So we're gonna all go hang out together. It's gonna be an awesome time. It's gonna be a mini reunion for 200.
I was going to say it's mini 200 reunion.
I know.
That's great.
Stapleton and Scotty
Wow.
Lindsay. So it'll be fun, man. I can't wait to get up there. That's next Thursday. So
Very cool.
What day is that? The 30th of March. So if you're in the Chicago area, I'm coming and we're gonna be hanging out. So come mash on some
That's
video
awesome.
game buttons with us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time. I think that's it. Been playing Zelda. I got back into Zelda 2 nights ago when I got home. Played it on the TV because I've been playing it in handheld mode this whole time. And moving the needle. There's like these divine guardians that you have to deal with, and so I've started on the first one of those. Just finished that, and so I don't know what I got to do next, but just here's the one thing about Zelda. You can glide in it like with this thing, like
Kind of hand glider looking little thing.
Yeah,
Little
it's like
personal
a-
hand glider.
okay,
yeah,
right.
it's not. Yeah, it doesn't look like a hang glider. You're more like hanging from it.
Yeah.
I just forget what they call it. Like a parasail or something. And
Mhm.
and that thing is really convenient. However, I think it makes me miss a lot of stuff because when I don't know how to get somewhere, I just climb to the highest mountain, jump off, and glide there
Oh, right.
where I'm going. So I'm probably like missing a bunch of stuff, which I don't really like. But I don't know if I'm trying to go the long way either.
Right.
Because I don't know if this game works from a leveling standpoint or you just want to get the best weapon. It seems like you just want to get the best weapon and clothes, which you could make the argument that you would get it from, walking around and finding stuff.
Right,
but
right.
I would think I've gotten some clothes out of big events that have happened and some weapons that way.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me is just like, I'll just get it from the big events. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So, but I am enjoying it. It's fine. They ain't got me like Horizon.
No, I was going to say, but
Yeah.
but the way you're talking, it's like Zelda's there because you got to do it, but you're all about Horizon.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm there was a little bit of me that was like, let's move this needle so we can get back to Horizon.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm still open to it getting its hooks in me,
Okay.
Yeah.
which I think it
All
could
right.
do.
Good.
So that's all I'm going to say about that.
There you go.
Tim Router,
Yes, sir.
you got this thing even in the attic?
You know it. Sorry, I had to do it,
That
man.
was funny. I do have to say, I did send a lob out on Twitter to Jimmy Fallon, which I knew
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
going to get responded to.
Yeah, you did.
But
Yeah.
I know that he's a gamer a little bit.
Yep.
And I was like, shoot, man. What if
Do it.
I was like, I really want to go to SNL is what I really want to do. But I don't know if they're
Oh,
shooting
yeah.
right now. Are they shooting right now, Ed?
They are. I believe this past weekend they were off though. I think it was their off week.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's why I didn't make it.
does yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Okay.
Does Conan shoot his stuff in New York? Is he in New York?
Who?
Conan O'Brien?
Conan?
Is his show done in New York?
I think he's in L.A.
I think he's in
I think
LA
he's in
now.
LA too.
Okay, I didn't know where his new. Ever since he moved to cable, I didn't know
TBS,
where his.
yeah.
I didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know either. All right, Timmy.
Got it.
Let's do it.
New releases this week. The big monster, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
PC, Xbox One, PS4. Only a 6 review on GameSpot.
That is low, boy.
That's
They
not.
gotta fix their face.
That's
it can't
not
be all
good.
that, though. It can't be just the faces.
No, that's not good.
And
I'm
the
kind
necks.
of like, it kind of took the wind out of my sails when I saw that. I was like, ooh. And I haven't.
Wow.
But it got
I
like
haven't-
7 5s and I think even an 8 or a couple 8s elsewhere,
Really?
right? Didn't it?
Where they got paid?
I think it did.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
Yeah,
jeez.
were they paid?
I'm not going down that road.
Yeah.
What do you think is the problem? It can't just be the faces. I haven't read any reviews because I want to just play it.
I haven't
but-
either. I just saw that next to it because when I go and check new releases, I use GameSpot and they usually have ratings next to it, and it said 6, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, GameSpot's usually pretty good about aggregating and be like, oh, here's reviews from all
really?
over the place. They usually have a story like that.
IGN
Yeah.
had 7.7. Games Radar had 3.5 out of 5. I mean, you're
Okay.
definitely hoping for a 4 and 8.
Yeah, I need. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
I mean, for
but,
this huge of a game, because who wants to play, 30 hours of a 6?
Yeah.
I've not read any of the reviews either, but all the hoopla that I have seen in like YouTube videos I have watched, it's just people complaining about
The face.
the animations. Yeah, because so much, obviously there's a lot of fighting and combat and whatnot, and everything that I've seen from that seems to be great. But so much of the game is like character and story based and story driven. They're like, if I can't get
Quick time
invested in these
events.
characters because they look so crazy,
Yep.
then it just throws me out. That's the few videos and stuff that I've watched. That's what they've talked about.
And you know what?
I don't know in the official reviews, like if there's more to it than that, because I haven't read them like you guys said.
You know what's weird about that? I was gonna say, for some reason, it only slightly bothered me in Horizon. I don't know if I'm just not far enough in the story to where I've not met enough people, but I've done like the proving or whatever. I'm a little bit after that, and like I don't know. The old lady with the dreads, like hers was bothering me a little bit, and like the Aloy's was kind of, but like when they had a beard and stuff, I didn't think it was that bad. Like Rost, I didn't mind it so bad.
Well, the thing about with Horizon, at least for me, in my experience, has been that like from the nose up, like where they're doing like
Is
expressions
awesome.
and everything with their eyes. Yeah, it's really good. It's really just their mouths that are funky.
Yeah, I was.
Whereas
I was-
on Mass Effect, it seems to be like their whole face. Their mouth moves weird. Their eyes don't look dead
and
inside.
they turn their heads real, like they'll turn it like 180 degrees before their body turned. I saw a video of.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
it's kind of like, because I was wondering the same thing. I was like, well, how come nobody's really talking about this with Horizon? Only a few people are, but this is like a big deal with Mass Effect. And then when I watched some videos, it's like, oh, it seems to be a bigger deal on Mass Effect because it's like the whole face is being jacked up rather than just the mouth.
Unbelievable.
That's why I said they have to fix their face, not their mouth.
Yeah, it's
Right.
funny. I was explaining to a friend that, like, because as a video game apologist, it feels like when somebody walks on and they see a game, you go right into you launch into the excuses why something might feel a little weird.
Yes.
And so somebody got on the bus and sat down. I was like, you know what's funny about this game is usually gaming gets from the nose up wrong and the nose down right. I was like, this is like one of the few games where it's switched, where if you watch the teeth, for some reason the teeth feel like a little off-white and like a little too big for their mouths, but then
or they might be glowing, like because there's a backlight or something weird.
But then the nose and the eyes look incredible. And so, the eyes have it in Horizon, that's for sure.
There you go.
Sorry, Tim.
No, all good. So, yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. There's only 2 other releases, Troll and I for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and This Is the Police for Xbox One and PS4. Ladies and gentlemen, we have NPD for February.
Oh, good.
And let's
nice.
get it cracking. Hardware is down 30%, $204 million. Console software is down 14% and did $344 million. PC software is down 26%, did $25 million, and accessories is down 21% at $150.8 million.
Man, I wouldn't mind being down 25% and that still being the number.
And
I
still
was
that being
just
the
thinking
number,
the
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
amazing.
Be like, man, I was looking at my W-2 from last year and I'm down about 14%, only about $309 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Top 10 games. Number 10, Overwatch. Number 9,
nice.
Neo.
Really?
Number 8,
Ooh.
Battlefield 1.
What?
Number 7, Madden NFL 17. Yeah, dude, this is like, it's
good for Battlefield,
crazy.
man. Good for holding.
Yeah, man.
I
That's
know,
right.
right?
Number 6, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh.
Number 5, of course, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
Number 4, NBA 2K17.
Okay.
Number freaking 3, Grand Theft Auto 5. Still.
Doggone it, man.
Wow.
Good
Wow.
Lord.
There's so
hanging
many
in there.
irresponsible parents out there. I'm
That's
just kidding. I'm just joking.
Exactly.
joking. I did talk to somebody the other day who was like, yeah, my son always just plays GTA. And I was like, huh.
That's what I was talking with the movers. I'm like, so what do you play? Like GTA 5, man. I'm like,
Yeah, but they're adults.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm not saying that you can't let your kids play Grand Theft Auto 5. It is your prerogative.
Yes.
It just catches me off guard sometimes because I know how rough the game can get.
Yes.
Is all I'm saying.
But what's crazy about it too is it's like, okay, sometimes, kids, especially if the parents are ignorant, the kids can pull the wool over their eyes like, oh no, this game is totally fine because it has a name that doesn't ring a bell. But when the name is Grand Theft Auto, you think that'd be your first clue. Be like, wait, I should look further. What does this rated M mean?
Right. Exactly.
But I don't know.
It's like when we went and
Yeah.
saw Wolverine and there was pictures up all over the theater like, dear parents, this
Yes.
is not your average superhero movie. Like they were.
Oh, you mean Logan?
Logan? Sorry.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did
yeah.
I say?
Wolverine.
Oh,
but,
sorry.
yeah.
We'll say
Close
same
enough.
difference.
I knew what you're talking about.
I went and saw Logan 2 weeks ago, and there was just signs up all over the place. Like,
Was it
do
good,
not
by the
take
way?
your children.
Yeah, was it good? I want
I
to see
liked
it.
it. I liked it, but I like dark movies, and
Yeah.
so the darkness bothered some people that I talked to. They were like, "Yeah, I wasn't ready for that girl to be so rowdy," and I was like, "Huh, I did."
I'm cool with it.
You
Yeah.
did see the commercial, right?
I know.
The trailer.
She didn't
couple
look
times.
happy.
Yeah.
No, she's not happy.
Yeah, no, she's not.
And she's slicing and dicing.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that was 3, Grand Theft Auto. Number 2, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Ooh, wow.
Number 1, For Honor. Ubisoft's For Honor was the
Wow,
best-selling
yeah.
game of February, despite having only 12 days in the market during the month.
Wow.
Wow, that's so
So
amazing.
That game does not look interesting to me.
No, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, it didn't.
Well,
it
I mean,
didn't
it's good for
strike
them
me
because
either.
it seems like it's taken, at least in player base, it seems like it's kind of fallen off. So
Oh, really?
that's kind of with the word on the street. So it's good for them that they got at least
They got
good
that
out the
far.
gate.
It'd be the most returns in March.
Aw.
Exactly. They broke down also this month. Look at the top 10 best-selling games by platform. Would you like me to rattle those off quickly?
Yes, I won't stop you.
Okay.
Bring it.
And I'm not gonna go 10-1. I'm just gonna go 1 to 10. No, I'll go 10-1. All right. Xbox One, number 10, Overwatch, 9, Madden, NFL 17, 8, Battlefield 1, 7, Rainbow Six Siege, 6, Halo Wars 2, 5, NBA 2K17, 4, GTA 5, number 3, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, number 2, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and number 1, For Honor. For the PlayStation 4,
Nice.
number 10, Rainbow Six Siege, 9, Madden NFL 17, 8, Battlefield 1, 7, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue,
Huh.
6, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, 5, NBA 2K17, 4, Neo, 3, GTA 5, 2, Resident Evil 7, 1, For Honor.
Interesting.
Wii
Wii
U,
U.
number 10.
Ooh, Wii U.
Yeah, they're breaking it down.
Number 10, Super Mario 3. Just kidding.
Close. Number 10, Mario Kart 8. Number 9, Super Mario 3D World. Number 8, Splatoon. Number 7, New Super Mario Bros. U plus New Super Luigi U.
Yep.
6, Pokken Tournament.
Yep.
5, Super Mario Maker. 4, Yoshi's Woolly World. 3, Minecraft.
Huh.
2, Paper Mario Color Splash. Number 1, Super Smash Brothers.
Man, I tell you what, man. Listening to that, it's so interesting because Nintendo. I mean, so in the top 10 of both Xbox and PlayStation, there was only one
Very similar,
exclusive?
Yeah.
One exclusive in each or something like that? Is
Yep.
Neo exclusive? It's not,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
It's exclusive.
So two on the PlayStation side, maybe? And then you have Nintendo, which is only one multi-platform
Yeah.
game. You know what I'm saying? It's just so interesting that the Nintendo buyer is there for Nintendo stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There was one game that wasn't a Nintendo IP. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Right.
And it
Well,
was
I mean, that's
Minecraft.
Nintendo's fault, or if you will, because just the Wii U was not supported by third
Right.
party. We'll see if that turns around with the Switch. They're definitely getting some indie love.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's their curse and their blessing at the same time because they are such a niche market, and so they can kind of do whatever they want, and they don't. They're not necessarily in competition with. They're kind of their own entity. So, and maybe that's why they don't try to expand to make sure that they're covering all the bases like Xbox One and PlayStation are. But we'll see. So, as far as speaking of which, hardware, PlayStation 4 was the top-selling system again. Oh wow! But console sales continue to fall as Microsoft and Sony have saturated much of their potential market, which is very true. There's a lot out there. It's likely that some consumers are saving their hardware dollars for the Nintendo Switch. So we will see if that is true when we get NPD for March, which will be in April.
There you go.
We had no oops this week, surprisingly, which is pretty amazing.
There you go.
So that's good. We're back on track.
Don't surprise me, please.
So week one. This is 7 days without an oops. So far we're doing well.
It's like we need to start one of those calendars up on the wall.
Exactly. Start one of those calendars. Yep.
Been 7 days without an incident.
Exactly. Back to you guys. That's it.
Chris McCracken.
Okay, so earlier we were talking about Horizon. Guerrilla Games came out and announced that Horizon Zero Dawn has exceeded 2.6 million units sold in the first 2 weeks on the market.
Man, that's a lot.
Fantastic.
And Sony has confirmed that Horizon Zero Dawn is the best-selling first-party new IP to launch on PS4 to date, and Guerrilla's biggest debut ever.
Wow,
awesome.
Good for Guerrilla, man.
Yeah, it's really great for them because Killzone, a lot of people really dug Killzone, but it just never hit with the masses.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see them really strike the iron while it's hot with a really solid performance. They really deserve that. And then Guerrilla managing director Herman Holst has said, "We're thrilled that Horizon Dawn has been embraced by critics and players alike. This is only the beginning of Aloy's story and our exploration of the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, with the team is already hard at work on an expansion to the story." So I'm assuming that means DLC, but I don't know. The way that's kind of ambiguous. Maybe that just means like a part 2, like a Horizon 2 or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
He doesn't say DLC specifically, like for this game.
Right.
But I'd be interested to see because I'd never heard any talk about DLC. So if there's something coming, which I haven't finished it yet, but I'll keep playing.
I know that's right.
It's interesting that they made 2 million in 2 weeks, and Tomb Raider did the first Tomb Raider did 3 million, and that was considered a failure. And it's just the perspective of it just seems so weird to me. I don't know why those numbers came up, but it's just interesting.
They actually do have in this article, they have some numbers kind of for perspective. They're saying, so The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which was one of 2015's most successful games, it sold 4 million copies in the first 2 weeks across Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Wow. Right. Wow.
And then Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, sold 2.7 million copies in the first 2 weeks on the market. Or the first week on the market, excuse me. Of course, that's an established IP. But yeah, considering that it's only to one console, you're not going to hit the same kind of numbers as like a multi-platform game like The Witcher or whatever. But still, to do like half of it on just one platform, that's
amazing.
Pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Especially for a brand new IP that has no history where people are like, oh, I already know this is good. Like Uncharted, everybody knows Uncharted is good.
And not a huge, not a huge developer either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, Guerrilla is
Guerrilla
established,
really doesn't have,
but it's not like they're Naughty Dog or Ubisoft or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're not if you're not a PlayStation, like kind of really entrenched in the PlayStation world, you're not really gonna. Guerrilla Games is like that's one of those things. You're like, oh yeah, I think I've heard of that. Do they make mobile games? Who's that?
Oh, that's definitely gonna change.
Okay.
And I love that. I hope that kind of boils the pot for them to make more games like this, so that Guerrilla becomes like common name now in the PlayStation culture. I think that's a great. I'm so happy for them. That's a great. They definitely went up in my book now, and I haven't even played the game yet.
And that new game engine that they're working with Hideo on, the Decima engine, which is what's been used for Horizon. I mean, that engine is ridiculous.
They just got to fix
their mouths. It's only going to get better the more they work on it. Yeah, that's not even an engine. That's just the animation part. But the engine,
true.
like for the world and the physics and all that.
I wonder what's going on with that. That is so weird.
Is pretty looking,
right?
All right. Let's see what else is going on.
Oh,
Fallout.
Surprised him.
Yeah, Fallout 4.
Oh, we're on the air.
Yeah, Fallout 4 is getting a VR demo at E3.
Oh,
and
wow!
And people are like, it's going to be amazing.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Really?
Eh.
Reel it in.
I'm not a fan of Fallout, so I'm already super interested.
Says the only guy with a VR headset. You're supposed to be
it's not the VR aspect, it's the Fallout aspect that I'm just like,
Yeah. I'm with you, Chris.
I got this story from COD Connected. And it says, I don't even know who's talking here, but it says, I talked to Todd the other day and I was like, hey, how's Fallout 4 VR coming? And he said, Pete, Fallout 4 VR is the most incredible thing you've seen in your life. You can't even imagine what it's like playing in VR and how realistic it looks with everywhere you turn your head. It's going to blow your mind. It's the craziest thing you've seen, and we will have it at E3.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Bob.
Todd and Pete. And yeah. So anyway, I'm excited about that for the people in the Fallout world.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, that'll be great for them.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know there's a ton of people who love Fallout, and I like you said before, like I'm interested in VR, so I would definitely be interested in giving it a shot if I had the opportunity. I'm just not like, it's just so funny to me when developers are like, I get that people are excited about their stuff, and they should be, and they should promote it, but to be like, oh, it's the best thing ever, and it's like, well, you temper expectations a little bit.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But
I hear that.
Ed, you got to go? Ed's got to go. He's got movers at his house.
I think Ed's gone. The movers. So much for that noon time.
Yeah, man. I got to go.
All right, man. You go, man.
That was my Ed impression. I realize it's not that good. I can't fool anybody that I'm actually Ed. So I'll say I was in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, we wish him the best. That's awesome.
We do.
Yes. I'm so glad the mover. He was messaging us. He's like, ooh, the mover showed up. Yeah, it's
they were supposed to be there at noon.
Not noon. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's good, though. That means they can get settled in a lot quicker, which is good.
Exactly. The sooner they're there, the sooner they can get done, and it can be over.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, it is
so
not fun. But I will say, though, man, moving is spectacular, man. I had these guys, these guys came in, and they basically came in with like paper and saran wrap, and they wrapped all of our furniture like that. Like they were wrapping up burritos, and boom, they were out the door. And they rocked it, and they were like, hey, I noticed that you have some pictures over here. You want us to wrap those? Because we didn't get a chance to bubble wrap them. I'm sure. He had them ninja wrapped in like 2 minutes, and they were out the door.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Yeah, so it is really nice. It's not cheap, that's for sure, but it's totally worth it to have people helping you out, especially with all the heavy stuff. So it was good.
Awesome.
Like Lauren while they were doing all that stuff, I was helping direct them, but then I was also just putting some stuff in the loose stuff in the van and clothes and all that fun stuff. So it's not fun. So I'm with him. So Ed, Godspeed to you, sir.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Because that's so nice that they, yes, it can be weird when stuff shows up that early, but still, like.
No, it's good though, because you're moving cross state too.
Exactly.
So
I think
your
it'd be
stuff.
Actually like, it'd be very, like
it's
alleviating
stressful.
and be like, okay, they made it here and my stuff's here because it's coming from that far. I'd be nervous the whole time until it shows up.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
You can now, they've got emulators going on the Apple Watch for Gameboy games.
Do what?
What?
Why you'd want to do it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
But you can. So
interesting.
They're saying it's not the greatest thing, but it's, showing that you can do it in the power of the Apple Watch, I guess. Which you would imagine that the Apple Watch would be powerful enough to run a Game Boy.
I know.
But they figured out the emulation and they've got it going on that tiny freaking screen. I wouldn't do it. But for those that are huge into emulation.
But see, you can get Dr. Mario on there for Jenny.
Right.
She's like, babe, you want to come tap on my phone? Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my watch, I mean.
That's awesome.
Oh, my gosh. But I just sitting here watching Kirby play on a Apple Watch is just really funny. And I was like, man, people will get that emulation going.
Yeah, they will.
Oh, sure.
It's almost like a contest. Like, what's the smallest, most crazy thing you can get emulation running on?
Right, exactly. And so they're obviously saying the controls.
You see this
are
Yeti? I got Tetris right here on the back of this Yeti. Look at that.
They say the controls are obviously awful, but but they got it going. It says let's see, the control scheme is odd. This is from Nerdist, which is to be expected given that the Apple Watch Apple Watch's only inputs are a tiny touchscreen and the digital crown on the side. Start, Select, and B have their own buttons on the touchscreen, while you have to tap the screen for A, use the crown for up and down, and swipe right and left to go right and left.
Forget it.
Definitely a proof of concept, and that's it.
Definitely proof of concept.
Yes.
What else you got, Christopher?
So, little Breath of the Wild information. So, a lot of people, it's been out for a little while, and people are kind of finishing up the game, and they're learning that with Zelda Breath of the Wild, both on the Wii U and the Switch, it does not support multiple saves.
Yeah,
so
I was wondering about that.
It does have multiple auto saves, but as far as manual saves that you create, it can only maintain one manual save. So if you finish the game and you go to start it again, because a lot of people are doing that because they don't have a lot to play on the Switch at the moment, it'll say, do you want to overwrite the previous save? And it only gives you new game or cancel. And so it'll completely overwrite your other save. Now, there is, they did talk about an expansion that's going to be coming out later. Nintendo had announced that. And with that first expansion, it's supposed to be hard mode. So I'm thinking that when hard mode shows up, they'll patch in a way to have multiple saves. Because why would you introduce a hard mode if it forced you to override your previous save?
Exactly.
Because some people really like to do that. They like to keep where they got everything and they can go back and run around. It's an open world, so you want to be able to have all your stuff that you got from beating the game. Yeah, exactly. So I would think that they're probably going to introduce a way to take care of this with the first DLC launch that introduces hard mode. But there is also one other way to get around it. You can create multiple user accounts on the Switch and the Wii U. If you just create a new user, that new user can have their own save. So then you just bounce between the different users. So that way, like if you're playing the Switch and then you beat Zelda and you want to give it to your kid and let them start up a playthrough, just do it on a new user profile, and then you should be able to have the two multiple saves.
Video Games Jr.
Ooh, hey.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I was wondering about that. I was like, man, if I want somebody to try this, how do I do that? And then it does make it slightly annoying if you don't know that, to be like, number one, accidentally write over your situation. That would be the worst possible thing to happen. But then number two, to be like, oh, you want to try Zelda? Okay, let me just create a me real quick here. And what name would you want to use? Oh, okay, let's put that in there. You know what I'm saying? That seems like it would be extra annoying.
Yeah.
But I'm glad there's a workaround.
Do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, at least there's a way.
Exactly. So World of Games, which I don't know what country this is. Let me see. What's this? Dutch? I don't know I still don't know what country it is. But they have a placeholder on their website, leave it up to retailers, for Assassin's Creed Empire. Saying that it's coming later this year. And so I guess because we did skip last year, like Router wanted them to.
Yep.
That we got to be ready to get that new Assassin's Creed going this October, right?
I'm assuming that they will probably start teasing it. What do you think, E3? Or do you think earlier than that?
No, E3.
Yeah, I would
probably
think
E3 seems to make the most sense to get the ball rolling, and then there's Gamescom as well and other things. So
I think it'll probably be E3. I mean, because we knew about a lot of the Assassin's Creed before E3, but didn't see anything until E3. Like I remember, I think with Black Flag, they announced it in April of what it was, but then that's when we actually saw the gameplay, and that's when it froze in the Sony press conference. That was pretty funny. But so we'll definitely have something. And I got to say, I'm kind of excited about this. It's actually been a very nice break. And I loved Syndicate and Platinum. That was my first Assassin's Creed Platinum ever.
This is Switzerland, by the way. Sorry, Switzerland.
In Switzerland. Okay, there you go. So they're very neutral. They're very neutral then.
WOG.ch. That's what threw me off. I was like, .ch?
Yeah,
CH. I was like, that's not China.
I was like, either China or... Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know why it stands for that, but CH.
There it is.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Carry on.
Oh, it's from I'm not going to be able to say this, man. The domain CH derives from, come on. Confederatio Helvetica.
There you go.
Hey, all right.
That's what I was thinking it was. I'm just glad you confirmed
the Latin
it.
name for the country.
I thought that was a font.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Exactly. Helvetica definitely is a font. Yeah.
Conventio Helvetica. Bold.
Is it bold or italicized? Condensed?
That was good.
Oh,
Here in America,
gosh.
everybody here's bold.
That's right.
So
Helvetica New Thin.
Are you feeling?
Anyway.
Are you feeling revived, Router? With
Yeah, are you
Assassin's
excited
Creed because
about
of the break?
Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
rolling back around?
no, I'm ready for it. I mean, now that the movie's away, I'm like, I wasn't going to see that anyway. Like, let's get all the turds out of the way first, and then we'll make it happen. But I think they're going to be they're going in the right direction. I loved that they paused this for a year. Syndicate was a good indication to me that they're kind of going back to the roots of where it was and of how it used to be, at least. And yeah, I'm definitely excited for it. So I think it'll be good.
Good. I'm excited too. I mean, I loved Black Flag.
I'm excited
I
to see
didn't
what
play
it is,
after
yeah.
Black Flag, but
Man, I know Black Flag was so fantastic, though. It
so good.
really
Yeah.
was. The naval combat was great, and it was just like it's just one of those games that it's perfect, like pirate game the way it should be. It's absolutely awesome.
And it felt like
I loved Black Flag.
you could never have played an Assassin's Creed and jumped into 4 and been okay.
Right.
That was my situation. I had never played another Assassin's Creed. That was my first one was Black Flag.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
And I think they're doing
I
that.
was like, man, what have I been missing? And
Right.
then I played Syndicate, and I was like,
I think after 3, they were the whole like you'd have to know the story kind of a thing like goes away, and now even with Syndicate and even with Unity, it's just like boom, you can jump right in. You don't have to know any backstory about anything. And I think Revelations was probably the last one that was kind of like the main send off, I guess, for that whole Desmond and then the Animus and all that stuff. And then once you get into 4 and up, I think you can just jump right in.
Yes.
yeah. Seems like each store is its own contained kind of thing.
Yeah, they're
just
very
in the
contained
world.
now. Syndicate especially too, so it was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
What else you got, Chris?
So we have a little more information on the upcoming Uncharted standalone DLC, The Lost Legacy. It's going to focus on Chloe like we knew and her own treasure hunt.
So what
She
does
is searching,
standalone DLC mean?
just like on The Last of Us, how
It's
Left Behind came out.
yeah.
You could buy just Left Behind. Like you don't have to have.
You don't have to have
It's
the
just
game.
interesting that they call it DLC.
Or like,
I mean, it's still
well, I
downloadable
use that term.
content.
That I have. I don't know if they officially use that term. I just use that term because I already have the first game, so I think of it as DLC. But it is standalone, just like First
I guess it's
Light
more
for
expansion.
Second Son. Like they were together, like they're the same world, but you could buy First Light all on its own if you never had
That's
Second
true.
Son. It's a similar situation to that.
Yes. That's why standalone DLC just didn't. I was like, huh. I was like, that. It feels like DLC
that's-
would pertain to the game that you already have and needing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's
kind of-
standalone. It's a standalone DLC expansion pack.
there you go.
Show title.
I like it, yeah.
There it is. We're getting there.
So the story's gonna focus around Chloe's hunt for an Indian artifact, the Tusk of Ganesh,
Right.
and she enlists Nadine, who is recently unemployed because her mercenary company Shoreline has gone belly up after the events of Uncharted
Yes,
4: A Thief's End.
And I didn't know that. I wasn't aware that it was going to be after A Thief's End. A Thieves End.
I think that I always kind of assumed that, but I never knew it. Like, this is the first time I saw it written. I was like, oh yeah, I guess they've never actually confirmed
See,
that.
I thought it was going to be Homegirl's rise, the black girl. I thought it was going to be her rise to power instead of
yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, that's interesting. And one other thing, Jason, I'm going to say Schur is how you say his last name. He's one of the writers for Lost Legacy.
Yep.
He did confirm that Nathan Drake is not going to be in this story.
Right.
He said
Yeah,
we
right.
entertained a few possible ideas of including him as maybe like a secondary character, but everything we did felt unnecessary because we tied up everything at the end of Uncharted 4.
Yeah, it feels
So
forced.
just to kind of put that to bed, unless they like are pulling the wool over our eyes, there's not going to be any Nate in Uncharted 4: The Lost Legacy.
And I'm fine with that. I mean, I think, is it safe to say that we can kind of put Nate to bed now? Like that's kind of it. That chapter's done. So like we don't
I think
need
it's over.
to.
Yeah, I feel like he probably doesn't need to be there because
and that's the thing, I'm
they've made
fine
it
with
feel
it.
like such a bow was tied and it just felt so complete.
It's perfect.
You don't really need him to be there.
Exactly,
Right.
and I'm fine with that. Totally fine. If Nathan Drake is not in anything now, totally fine with it because the way it ended was absolutely perfect.
Which we're not going to say how it ended.
Right.
Nope.
but just know it's perfect.
Yes.
Freaking Naughty Dog.
With a bow. Freaking Naughty Dog. You know, I watched The Last of Us 2 reveal again. I can't help it, dude. I just love it. I just love it, man.
It's really funny.
It's like, yeah, it was great. That's not the Firefly logo. That's not the Firefly logo. It was great.
Chris, you got anything else?
Freak!
Oh, shoot! Freak! Shoot! Freak!
We need to post that this week.
So good.
People have missed it. Oh man.
Yeah, so good.
What else you got, Chris?
The only other thing that I got is that Orisa, the new Overwatch character, dropped for PS4 and Xbox One yesterday.
Right.
Ooh.
And something weird about it is that she's not available for competitive play.
Yeah, I thought, are they still working out the kinks or something like that? Is she OP or something?
Well, the way that they explained it is they said we want players to get to have time to learn and to get accustomed with how she's used and how to use her in competitive play. But I'm like, but you didn't do that with any of the other characters.
Right, didn't you just throw them in?
I'm guessing there's something OP-ish about her. They didn't come out and say that specifically, but they did say that she's only going to be out of it for, I think, a week or two, and then they plan to introduce her into competitive play. So we'll just have to see if another patch comes out and be like, y'all are still tweaking things.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's kind of like they announced her and everybody's like clamoring to get her. I can see that they're like, oh crap, we have these things we've got to fix, but people are wanting her so bad because we already announced her. Let's just put her out in the wild, and before competitive comes out, we'll go ahead and patch these little things out for her.
Yeah, I just figured.
But she is available in quick play, arcade, and play versus AI.
Yeah, I just figured she was OP or something like that, and that's why they hadn't put her in there yet. That's really interesting.
I'm eager to finally get some gaming in, hopefully tonight, and go check her out.
Go for it.
I love new characters in Overwatch.
Nice. Ed. Yeah. I don't know how to do his voice either.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. What's going on the YouTube channel? I'm just kidding. Top YouTube videos, combined average watch time and views, March 14th through March 20th. Number 10, Hugh walkthrough gameplay part 10, University.
What's going on?
There we go.
Lego Worlds live stream.
Ooh,
number 9.
Sweet.
There we go.
Number 8, Married to the Games, episode 235, Gabe Stop. Oh man, these aren't numbered, so I'm having to count backwards, but it's listed. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Number 6, Hugh walkthrough part 11 ending. Number 5, Ori and the Blind Forest part 14. Thornfeld Swamp. Oh,
I was
man.
so off on that.
Did I not?
That was horrible.
Did I not serve that up the right way?
No, you did, because you had a little pause, and I was like, good, I can take a breath.
Yeah.
Number 5. Gosh, this is throwing. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 4.
That's 4. You're at 4.
I'm on 4. Wait, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch Dogs 2, part 6. Bottom dollar complete. Man, we need Ed for this. This is a travesty. Number 1, 2, 3. Wait, no, I'm not doing something right.
Ed, you've got job security.
Ed's
For
got
sure.
1, 2, 3, 4,
security.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 Q, 9 Lego, 8 Married to the
Lego.
Games, 7 Q, 6 Ori,
The best one.
5 Watch Dogs part 6, bottom dollar complete. 4 Watch Dogs 2 part 5, bottom dollar fail.
Yep, those go hand in
3,
hand.
Watch Dogs 2 part 19 paint job.
Yep.
Number 2 Watch Dogs part 48 ghost signals.
Wow.
Oh.
Number 1 Gabe and Chris react to PSX 2016 The Last of Us part 2.
That's part 2.
Thanks, Rob.
You're welcome. Oh, shoot. Freak. Oh, shoot.
Oh my gosh. I might just run the audio of that at the end of this show.
Oh, you should, man.
Yeah.
So good.
After credits.
So
Oh,
good.
she playing the guitar.
Oh, she playing the guitar.
Good that looks.
Yeah, no, the best
These
is,
jokers.
tune that junk up. That was my favorite. I'm like, only a musician, man. Yeah, tune that junk up.
Somebody's older.
Oh my gosh. That is
Somebody's
so
older.
funny.
Freaking Router. That was my, Chris, that was my favorite from you.
jeez.
Router. Oh, so good.
I don't know what's after Ed. Oh, question of the week.
Yes.
I'm so thrown right now. I'm doing too much talking. Last week we asked you guys a question. last week was what? No different? Exactly.
No, of
We
course.
asked you guys, for those old enough to remember, what was the name of your favorite arcade place growing up? I put in name so people didn't name video games. Chris McCracken.
Yeah.
You mean you put in place?
Chris McCracken.
Starting over at the forum, we got Don Star Lancer. I, for one, certainly miss arcades. My favorite spot growing up was called Jupiter and Beyond in Cincinnati, Ohio. I've loved video games my entire life. As a young guy that was not into sports, it was definitely nice to have a place to go where I could actually belong and have a chance to win.
Nice.
Sometimes you want to go. Visiting the arcade was always an adventure. I loved checking out all the latest releases that were so flashy and exciting and just impossible to reproduce at home at the time. There's really nothing quite like the local arcades these days. Places like Dave & Buster's are nice, but it's simply golden to just be able to walk a bit or catch the bus and enter a whole new world, or heck, several. I know that's
There
right.
you go.
There you go.
Zachariah, Aladdin's Castle because it was in the mall. Pistol Pete's because most of their games gave 5 lives per quarter.
Oh,
Wow.
that's huge.
I like that.
There you go. That's
What
a good
the
deal.
heck? Yeah, I like that. Shoot.
How'd they
I
swing
never
that
had
one?
that.
I could have used that. Yeah. Riot.exe, Houston, Texas listeners, more specifically the ones that lived or still live in Alief. Is that what that place is called? ALIEF. Will probably remember the Namco Cyber Station arcade that was inside the Funplex, formerly Fame City Amusement Center. 14 years of memories there, but the most notable one is something we all failed to take. We all failed to take a picture of because I can't find one online. That arcade had a custom-built cabinet of Daytona USA 2 that was made up of 2 hollowed-out stock cars filled with the game and controls facing 2 huge projector screens.
Wow.
Pretty much the best way to play a racing game ever. Honorable mention from my childhood in Houston goes to Celebration Station and all the mini arcades in Six Flags Astro World. Both of those are gone now, though. I currently live in Northwest Chicagoland area of Illinois, and I'm lucky to still have a few arcades to go to, such as Round 1 at the Stratford Square Mall for more current games, and Galloping Ghosts out in Brookfield for so many retro games. Gabe, if you ever come out to Chicago during one of your tours, you need to go there.
Oh, gee.
You won't regret it. I mean, seriously, look at the list of what they have, and guess what? It's already on the day sheet and the plans, baby. We're going to Galloping Ghosts.
Oh, that's
is
so
one of the
cool.
spots we're
Look
hitting
at
up
that.
when we come to Chicago. So Riot, EXE, if you're listening, come meet us there, Doc. I'm
That's
gonna be
right,
there
man.
next
Get your
Thursday.
quarters in.
Yeah, man. Get that roll of quarters going. Over on Facebook, we got Jeff Swan. I love this question. In the mid-'90s, there was an arcade in an Arlington, Texas strip mall between 7-Eleven and a hibachi restaurant called Texas Games. Every Friday night, they had an unlimited play session for $10. And after my parents would drop me and a buddy off for the evening, we'd get to play all the way through some of our favorite games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men, Gauntlet, The Simpsons, etc. When they opened, we were spending most of our time with the newest games such as Cruisin' USA, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and Mortal Kombat 3. Question: like Gabe, our local mall had a Tilt arcade as well, and they had this game that we'd love to see again. It was a weird dome type thing that displayed holograms. If I recall correctly, it was some kind of Dragon's Lair type game with a time traveling cowboy. It was mostly just FMV, full motion video actors on a black background. Any of you guys know what I'm talking about? Number one, I do know what you're talking about, and I played it a bunch when I was in New York, not this last time, but the time before. And then he replied to himself. He said, hold up. I found it within 15 seconds of Googling. Turns out it was designed by Rick Dyer of Dragon's Lair fame and was called Time Traveler. Check out the video below. And yes,
Nice.
I played that when I was in New York, and it was an awesome game from my childhood. And it was definitely, I don't think anybody would like it now, but it was awesome back in the day.
Yeah.
Laserdisc. Dak Huntley on Facebook. I thought for sure someone would have mentioned. I thought for sure someone would have mentioned Time Out by now. Time Out was a popular arcade chain, at least here in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. I only went to 2 regularly. Both were right next to the Big Cookie and a Sbarro right down the hall. So I would have no problem spending my Friday evenings there. I know that's right.
Yeah, man.
I've heard of
There you
Timeout.
go.
Pizza and video games, baby.
I mean,
Tell me more about the big cookie.
I know, right? Tim Holmberg, the underground was in the old part of town, nothing but a doorway with steps leading down, sign saying fun below. Wow. It wasn't.
Oh,
I
boy.
thought there was a song you were starting to sing.
Yikes.
It wasn't until you got downstairs that you realized it was an arcade. The sounds didn't go up the street. Closed now, but spent a lot of my youth and money there. Nice.
There you
I
go.
like that. And over on Twitter, I didn't highlight any, so I need to just choose. We'll go Sean Capri at Sean Capri, Mortal Kombat 2, The House of the Dead, Jurassic Park, Bust a Move, Time Crisis, Crazy Taxi, hashtag I stand with Brent Van.
There we go. See you,
That's
Sean Capri.
Sean, man. That's
my
great.
Gosh, that is so funny.
That was good.
Brian Armstrong
That's good.
at Brian1 Armstrong. Can't remember the arcade name. All I remember is hiding so my parents wouldn't see me in line to play Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's good.
That's really funny. Let's see who else is over here. Kyle Hall at Marvel Zombie 616. Utopia in the mall. In its day, there were kids lined up at new games, slapping quarters on the glass to call next. I know that's right. Oh man, we got a lot of answers. Garwin at XDA Garwin. The base arcade all the way through 1995. Let's see. That's Circus Pizza. This is Adam Leonhardt at the Art of. Man, I cannot read this morning. Sorry. He said Circus Pizza. They had arcade games, mini golf, bumper cars, and average pizza.
Nice.
And then somebody replied to him, said definitely Circus in Brooklyn Park. All the great old school brawlers. Let's see. I should have looked at this ahead of time. I just didn't. And then M. Rosario Jr. at New Day, New Me 33. For me, it was Rack and Roll in Passaic, New Jersey. Passaic.
It's Passaic.
Passaic.
Played Daytona all day, day. I like that.
That's awesome.
Thank you guys for the answers. Man, old
Yeah,
school.
man.
I'm telling you, man. Gosh, the arcade.
Anytime you mention old school, man, people come
I
out.
feel like it should be able to make a comeback, but it costs money to get it through that first hump of nobody knowing it's there.
We've always talked about opening an arcade here. It would be so awesome, but it's like, where do you start? And that's a lot of money to cash out.
Exactly. If I ever hit the lotto, I'm starting an arcade.
Yeah, see, that's definitely it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Let's see. Chris. No, wait. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. I'm just all thrown off with Ed not being here.
I know. Poor Ed.
Come check us out at marriedtothegames.com and over at the forums. And like Ed would have said, youtube.com/married to the games. And Tim.
Rate us on iTunes so Michael McDonald can be one of Ed's movers and can say, "Can I help you move the couch in?"
Chris, did you have one locked and loaded since I said your name earlier?
I did, but his was better. So.
I like it. Oh my gosh. Well, let's get into some questions.
Oh, that's so awesome. I always have one ready just in
That
case.
is really funny.
I try and take some notes and just try and get. I'm so glad you called on me. Thank you. I wanted to do that one. Facebook, Mark Boucher. So, dying so many times on bosses in Zelda Breath of the Wild got me thinking.
Amen to that.
This question may have been asked before, but what has been the hardest boss you've ever had to face in a game? Did we have this one before?
It sounds like something we had before, but I don't.
It sounds like some. I don't remember.
It may
I
have
don't
been before
remember.
my
I
time.
don't have a locked and loaded answer.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. Shoot. I had a.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I had a hard time still with that freaking Dead Space 2, the final boss at the end of Dead Space 2. Because that was the same time that I had to drop the difficulty. I don't know why. I couldn't get past it. I almost want to play that again just to get to do it. But yeah, I had tons of trouble on that boss.
I'm going to say Mike Tyson because I never beat him in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, there you go.
Never beat it.
That makes sense. I would say the this is gonna be a stupid answer, but there was these two bosses, Emerald and Ruby, in Final Fantasy VII, and that was kind of before the internet, and so you just had to listen to your friends. Like, hey, what exactly am I supposed to do? So, yes, I would say Ruby and Emerald. They were tough until you got Knights of the Round.
Nice. Listen to you with the Final Fantasy VII.
I know, it's always
all day, every day. It's awesome. Brett T-Bodden, I am taking my 3 daughters to see Beauty and the Beast this weekend, and it made me think of all of my, quote, beastly, uncivilized traits. My sisters used to call me the Booger King because I picked my nose as a kid, and I'm embarrassed to admit that there are still some bugs that are best extracted with a finger than a tissue.
Amen.
The difference now is that I wash my hands afterwards and do it in private. And for the record, I don't consider my car I don't consider my car is not a private place. Oh, okay.
I got it.
So my question is this: what is your beastliest quality?
Ooh, liking to eat meat.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
I love meat. So if you watch me eat some ribs, that's probably the beastliest quality.
You're going to town.
Oh yeah, man. No
Nice.
problem.
Man, I burp and fart all the time, and to the point where Piper's like, "Daddy, you're gross," and then of course Lauren has to chime in too. But yeah, I don't care. I let it out. But they say it's healthy to do so that's why I'm doing it.
Oh my gosh, I didn't fart in front of Jenny until probably like 5 years into our marriage.
What?
No
Come
way.
on.
I'm not a public
No
farter,
way.
man. I don't like, because number one, I'm chubby. So number one, if somebody even farts in my vicinity, people blame it on me anyway. They're going to be like, oh, well, the chubby dude probably.
Chubby guy.
But number two, like, I don't know, man. I'm just weird about all that.
You said number 2. That's funny. All right, now we're just getting potty talk. There you go. There's beastliest quality. Oh, it's so funny.
Chris?
Oh, good.
I'll cut my toenails in bed.
What?
And Stacey, yeah, I mean, well, I did when I was single, and then Stacey was
what
like,
do you mean?
"What are you like? Clip my nails."
No, I know what that means, but like, what do you mean by in bed? You'll do it.
Like,
He does
I'll
it
be
in
in
bed.
bed, and I bring up
And
my
he cuts
foot,
his
and I'm
nails.
cut. Yeah, I mean, I go ahead and I
Dang,
gather them
man.
up and then throw them away.
You mean over the edge into a trash can?
No, it sounds like in the bed.
Yeah, like right there. Like I'm just there. They go there. I gather them up and I go throw them away.
What about the flyers?
Yeah.
No, man, I got
There's
skills.
always-
I know what
no.
I'm doing. They fly where I want them to fly.
He's going to wake up and have a crescent moon on the side of his skull.
But I don't do it anymore because Stacey's not about that. So I was like, all right, I'll do it elsewhere.
I don't blame her one bit. Yeah, I'm always on the edge of the bed with a trash can underneath.
I had a roommate that would just cut his nails into the carpet, like just sitting at the couch.
Oh,
and it used to drive me crazy.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts, man.
I'm like, hey man, guess what? I gotta move.
You always,
Exactly.
You always get those flingers that kind of fly 5 feet in the air out of the way, and you're like,
well, I don't know where that went.
hopefully that gets picked up later.
I'll find that walking around with just my socks on.
Exactly. So awesome. Brett, thank you for that question. Let's move on to Twitter at Flowing with Rain. Round the table. Choose a group that you're a part of, then complete the sentence. I'm the only one blank. He gives an example. I'm the only one without a tattoo.
Oh. Router's the only one without a beard. I'm just kidding. Ed doesn't have a beard anymore either.
I'm the only one that gets 5 shots, 5 allergy shots.
Yeah, you are.
I know that.
Nice. Chris?
I'm the only one with a painted toenail.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
right.
I don't know if that's true,
right.
but
I think you're probably safe to assume.
You're probably safe to assume.
Is one of your toenails dead?
yeah. So I had broken my toe, and it broke near where the toenail was.
Yeah.
And so the toenail got bruised and everything when it happened, and it fell off. And then it grows back, but it grows back and it looks weird. It's weird colored and shaped and everything. But it grows out and then it falls off and grows out and falls off. But as it's growing out, like if I don't want people looking, I mean, the shape of it's weird and I can't do anything about that. But at the very least, it's like I can hide the color and weird way that it looks.
Yeah.
So I have Stacey paint just that one toenail. So if I'm wearing flip-flops or something, I mean,
That's
it draws
funny.
attention because it's painted, but at least they're not saying what it actually looks like.
Do you do different colors for the season? Like spring will be like a pale blue.
No, it's almost always some shade of blue.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Always blue? Never
Yeah,
like black?
I mean, the one that I'm doing right now is like a really dark, so it almost looks black unless you are close to it, which most people don't get close to it.
That's really funny.
Next
But yeah,
time I
it's
see you,
always
Chris,
some
I'm
shade of
gonna go
blue.
look at you. I'm gonna stare at your feet.
You should.
It'll be
You can
awesome.
tap on it. It sounds hollow inside. Tick, tick, tick.
Oh
tick.
my gosh.
Sweet.
Lord have mercy.
Sweet.
I'm the only one with a male pattern baldness,
Aw.
which is fun.
Yeah, I'm getting
Everyone
there
else
though.
fine.
Don't worry about it.
Everyone else has hair but me.
That's
Yeah,
true.
but that's your
At the
beautiful
moment.
quality
At the moment. Oh man.
at the moment.
Good question.
That was a great question.
Yeah.
At MLS Chop, how important are graphics / visuals to you in a game? Mass Effect is having graphical issues, but otherwise seems fun. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I think we've had this before, but I wanted to address it again now that we're dealing with they mouths and they faces.
I would say it's funny, man, because going back between, oh man, it's weird because that's kind of more glitchy than it is just graphics
Yeah.
in general.
Right.
And
right.
so if something's glitchy, it's really distracting for me. It's like going to see a band, or like if I'm at church and like the worship team is playing, but the drummer's terrible, it's hard for me to even like sing along.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like things like that, because of the way, I don't know, just the way my brain fires off and works, that's really distracting for me.
Yeah.
So I think I wouldn't be able to get over it. So I would say it's fairly important. I want it to be, it's the difference between like Horizon and Zelda, where Zelda just has a different art style than Horizon, but Horizon is obviously beautiful, and then Zelda is beautiful in its own way as well.
Yes.
Right. Right.
And I don't mean beautiful like only a face or mother could love, because I think it like does look like a very cool looking game. It's just very different from Horizon, but it wouldn't make me play one over the other because of that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, graphics are definitely not everything. And I mean, as you see today, there's tons of indie games and whatnot that are
Overcooked.
emulating, or they're emulating an old 16-bit style or 8-bit style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And obviously, like on the graphical scale, that's not blowing your mind, but they can still be an amazing game. So graphics absolutely are not everything. And I don't necessarily choose what game I'm going to play based on the graphics, but I do really enjoy high graphical quality these days, or as much as I can get on my console, because I mean that's the reason that I buy them. That's the reason that we're moving forward. I mean, it's cool to have these games that are retro in nature and emulating older styles, but it's like I don't want the majority of my games being that, because then I would just hang on to my SNES and everything else and only play those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like an end all be all for me to where I will base my purchase off of it. That's more about like, does the story seem interesting, or does the gameplay seem really good? Because the gameplay is the most important thing to me, and then the story is like a close second. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Nice.
But Ed, like last week, Ed said it the best, because he was playing Sniper Elite 4, and he said with 3, the art style, it's the exact same art style, but it doesn't matter to him because he just likes the game and
Yes.
loves playing. And so if you love playing the game itself and not graphics aside, like that's all that matters to me too. But if you have great graphics and visuals, of course it enhances it more.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really cool.
Good question.
At Lucas Ham Swisher, at Mr. Ham 111. Wait, he says read with a British accent. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Gentlemen, happy Common Courtesy Day to you. What courtesy do you think should in fact be more common?
Yeah, that was pretty good, Robert.
yeah, that was pretty good.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good job.
There we go. We got Michael McDonald and British accents going on today. All right, so what courtesy do you think should in fact be more common?
I think that, man, this was rough, and I almost said something a lot. Watching people not give up a seat to a pregnant lady or hold the door for a pregnant woman is like, come on, y'all. What y'all doing?
Yeah.
Like, especially when it came
Seriously.
to like kids and teenagers, and like watching Jenny, like, or, she would tell me about being somewhere and, having to stand and hold, Remy, and there'd be like 3 teenagers sitting down and just, talking amongst themselves. And you're like, man, just be like a little aware, man. If there's a pregnant lady standing there holding a child, give up your seat.
Seriously. Did you see that video of, what's his name? Keanu Reeves gave up his seat on the subway in New York
Yeah, I
to
saw
a
that.
woman.
Oh,
I thought
that's
that was
right.
really cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool. That was and that should be happening more. Oh, you know, offer your seats to women, open doors for women.
Yeah.
And I'm going through this, not a lot now because Piper's getting it, but please and thank you, man. People just keep saying, like, be courteous and may I please have this and thank you for this and just keep saying that.
And I don't want to.
It's
I don't want to
important.
offend any feminists out there, but I think it's okay to hold the door for the ladies, right?
Amen.
Yeah, and I will go kind of piggyback a bit off of Router. I just thank you in general. Like, fortunately for myself, like being in the South, you always hear the South's got like people are really courteous, and they are.
Yeah,
but
they are.
I mean, I definitely feel like it's getting more and more where like a thing like holding the door open for somebody, whoever they may be, or like when you're letting somebody in the line in traffic or something like that. I feel like there's less and less of just the common like, oh, thank you. I mean, even if it's just like a throwing it out there and you're not really thinking about it much, just doing it, acknowledging that person sacrificed in some way for you. I mean, I'm not asking you to like buy me a soda or something. Just a quick thank you, and that's fine. Yeah, I'll play PS4 Pro. I mean, you can do that if you want. But I think that it feels like that's getting less and less common, and I don't really like that.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's
Good
awesome.
question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's see. At Brad Kabowski, that's my morning crew right there. I need to get back into my morning crew. No question. I just want to say thank you for making my Fridays go by faster at work. Love the show.
Hey,
so that's awesome.
Welcome. It's our pleasure.
It's our honor.
That is awesome. At The Art of Bacon, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about the internet?
Least favorite is the trolls.
I was about to say, I think my least favorite and my favorite thing, the answer both is the people. There's some amazing things about the internet, obviously, that people point. And then like Chris is saying, man, the trolls, you're like, y'all ain't got nothing better to do.
Right.
Than to troll folks. So I would say the people on both sides.
I guess I could. It's kind of a bit the same answer, but I'll switch it up a little bit just to differentiate. But it's the I don't like how everybody is just so brave when they're on the internet.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like people are way bigger jerks because they feel like, oh, there's no repercussions, or nobody knows who I am. There's anonymity. Good Lord, I can't say that word.
No, you nailed it.
You know, I don't know how to say it. I was going to try, but I can't help you out.
Everybody thinks they're anonymous. Let's just go that way. Because it's too early and I can't say this word.
That's true.
Anonymity. I feel like, what was it? The little sea urchin or whatever trying to say that word.
Anemone. And Finding Nemo. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I just don't like how everybody's anemic on the internet.
Anemic.
Which, and it's kind of the same thing because that's the trolls are that way. But it's just like, I wish people just did it. Like, because in real life, most people are not going to be that much of a jerk to other people.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. I love... my favorite thing about it is the connectivity of it, and that you can reach people from across the globe.
Yeah.
And the least favorite thing is just all the clutter that goes with it, and the spam and the trolling and just everything about it. Because you've got people out there that just love to hack, and it's more like, and a lot of the spam and stuff that you see is just people trying to figure it out and trying to hack things in.
Yep.
Which there's a point where hacking is great. Like I've always been. I want to say a fan, but I've always appreciated Anonymous for who they are, because these guys are out there and they can kind of push the envelope with things, but there's always a level of responsibility there too.
Yeah.
So,
we want to know where we're weak, but maybe don't take advantage of me every single time.
If I run a Fortune 500 company and I know that my platform's got holes in it because some hackers, I would hire those hackers.
You would want to know
right on this because I want to know how to fix that. Mm-hmm. And I think more and more companies are doing that now, which I think is great. And I like seeing those kind of hackers turn to actual employees.
Yeah.
Because I think that's great for them. And
Catch
we
Me
need
If You
that,
Can
especially
was like the
with
old school version of that.
Oh yeah, that is the old school version of it, exactly. So, but I do like the connectivity in that any question you might have, you can basically just ask Google and it'll be there. Whether it's true or not, you just have to double check it. But
of course.
At least it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the best thing about the internet for me is just it opens so many doors and so many opportunities for everything and for everybody. Really, I mean, it really does.
Yep.
Make the world better in a lot of ways. So,
amen.
It's great.
Yep. Final question. Brian Whetstone at Big Daddy BW. Is negative press from the early access of Mass Effect Andromeda making you wait for a sale to get it?
You know what?
I mean, we talked about this.
Yes.
It is for me.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
it just did for me.
Usually I'm pretty like, oh, I'm getting that. Or no, I'm not getting that. Yeah. But like, I definitely was going to go pick it up yesterday. And then like,
me too.
Kind of seeing everything come in, I was like, oh, wait a second now.
Yeah.
Maybe I should pump the brakes on that, which sucks.
And I haven't seen any of the reviews, and I just saw that 6 on GameSpot because I go there for all the new releases, like their review, like their star ratings or their number ratings are pretty spot on with a lot of the games that we announce that come out every week.
Yeah.
And when I saw that 6, I'm like, oh,
6 is
that's
low.
Not
that's
good.
Awful low.
That's low, and that's for a Mass Effect game. 3 was awesome. I mean,
I know.
It's making me nervous. It's really making me nervous. So I may wait for a while.
I might need to read that review
ridiculous.
And see why it's sick. Because if it's wrapped up in the faces and the heads and the necks,
it's fixable. Maybe
then that's I don't know how that works. We need to ask Stancil or have somebody speak on it. But like,
that's
I
true.
don't know how fixable. Like, are they going to be able to fix just facial animation just across the board?
Maybe
that
not.
Seems like a big thing to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have any plans to pick it up anyways because I have other games right now, and I never played the first 3 Mass Effect games, so I don't have this love for it
so
like
good.
a lot of other people do. And so I knew I was going to be playing Horizon, and then I really want to pick up Nier, and there's been a lot of things going on right now, so I never had any plans to pick it up at least at the beginning. So I probably was always going to wait until a sale anyways before I looked into it. So we'll just have to see once it finally does go on sale. Have they like fixed a lot of these things? Are they still an issue? Because everything that I've seen and read and the videos I've watched and whatnot, it seems like the combat's really awesome.
Yes.
But I don't. I mean,
it looked
I don't want to
awesome.
play Mass Effect, just the lineage of Mass Effect, and then the history that it has. Like it has a multiplayer, but I don't want to play it just for multiplayer.
No.
Right.
So I mean, if I can't get invested in it because of all the wonkiness, then I may not even bother.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. I hear that. That is it for the questions. Thank you, everybody. That was good stuff.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. The question of the week for you guys, this is another throwback.
Ooh.
But also for those old enough to remember, I'm just kidding. Before the days of the internet, us gamers had to go off of word of mouth, kind of like I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
What bug or glitch do you remember circulating around that ended up not being true? I'll give you an example. Back on, and of course I'm going to bring up Final Fantasy, but back when Final Fantasy 7 first came out, there was this big, at least at my school, there was this big like story that went around where you could get unlimited gil, which is the money that they use. And like you could find it in like Tifa's house or Cloud's house or the church where you find Aerith and all this stuff. And it ended up never being true, but we didn't have the internet really to be able to put that up against we're talking about the 90s here where the internet's going, but it's not like it is today where you can find out just everything you want to know. And so, is there a glitch or anything like that? Because I remember there seemed to always be like a theory on Pac-Man. If you do this just right, then something crazy will happen. You know, there was obviously the Metroid one where people were like, if you press select at the end, it's a girl and she's in a bathing suit. And you're like, yeah, right. And then you beat it and you do it and you're like, oh, she is in a bathing suit. Like, that's crazy. It is a girl. And so you didn't necessarily know that. Chris, do you remember anything from your past where a rumor might have gone around that didn't end up being true?
I can't remember one that didn't turn out to be true. I remember hearing things like all the secret levels in Mario and whatnot that I didn't know were there, how to find them. And then they ended up actually being there. So I can't think of one that was like an urban legend that when I tried to find out if it actually was true, it wasn't. I can't think of one.
And Tim, you didn't probably game enough back in the day to hear anything like that.
Was there something with like Mortal Kombat?
I was just about to say that. Like, I feel like there was a Mortal Kombat one that was like, if you do this and then this crazy thing happens, or Katana won't have any clothes on or something.
Down.
And you're like, and then
some sort of cheat code.
Yeah, and then it never ended up happening to anybody.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, I think you guys will have. I knew that we would come up with lame ones, but I know the community will probably have some that they remember that might ring some bells. So let us know what urban legend. That's a good way to put it, Chris. What urban legend do you remember floating around about gaming that didn't end up being true, or one that was surprisingly true?
Yeah,
might be a good one too. So let us know. Use hashtag AnswerMTTG, and we will read some of those off next week, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. Ed, we're so glad that the movers showed up early.
Yes.
It would have been a long
man.
day waiting for it's
Get
so
settled.
better that they're early than that they're late.
Absolutely.
Yo, absolutely.
So, yeah, man, I'm on spring break this week. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah,
We don't
buddy.
have any shows
Let's
this
do it.
weekend. We go back on tour next week. So it'll be fun. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
236 in the books, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. Honorable mention, that's Ed Placencia. That was Ed Placencia.
Yes.
That's right.
That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we're up out this thing. Peace! I'm nervous.
There's one more special unveil we have for you tonight. The game is in early development, super early, but the team behind it wanted to share this with you guys today. So this is from their updated engine running on PS4. All I'm going to say is thank you for coming.
He did say running on PS4, not PS4 Pro.
Yeah, he probably meant PS4 Pro.
Probably. Days Gone?
No, he wouldn't ramp it
Well,
up
yeah,
like that.
he said early development. Days Gone should be much further since they showed so much at E3.
Oh, yeah, post-apocalyptic. Like always.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up!
Oh!
Shut
Oh,
up! Freaking Router
shoot.
called it!
That wasn't the Firefly logo, was it?
Yes, it was!
That wasn't the Firefly logo.
Yes,
was it?
it
Oh,
was!
shoot! Oh,
Yes, it was!
freak! Oh, freak!
Oh,
I hate
freaking
you, Router.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up. Okay.
Shh.
These jokers. Oh, he's got a guitar. He's playing guitar. He's getting ready. I know that's right. Yeah, tune that junk up. Oh, look how good that looks. You got to be kidding me. Router.
They said
What
new
the
engine.
heck?
Oh my gosh, can't believe Router called this.
We said he was going to be right sooner or later. Look how good that looks. Oh, shoot. Sing, girl. Oh, my gosh. Somebody's a little older.
And I fear
Oh, my gosh.
because I'm blind
Oh my.
to it all
Oh, this is so good.
in my mind. My gun, they comfort me because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come.
Oh, my gosh.
Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. And
Be
I will
Joel.
dwell
Be Joel.
on this earth forevermore.
Be Joel. Joel has to still be there.
Said I walk beside the still waters and they restore my soul. But I can't walk on the path of the right because I'm wrong.
Oh, freak, yes.
I can't walk
Hang
Oh
on,
my
hang on,
gosh.
hang on.
on
No, it has to be.
Hang on.
right 'cause I'm wrong.
She messed that dude up.
What are you doing, kiddo? You really gonna go through with this?
Ask her, Troy.
I'm gonna find. And I'm gonna kill. Every last one of them.
Oh, snap. Who's them?
Oh my gosh. Oh, just part 2.
These jokers, man. Oh. And that's it?
And it's just done. How
And
does
it's just
Naughty
over?
Dog just keep doing it?